Thursday.
It's Thursday again. Happy Thursday.
Sweet Thursday. Hey.
Thursday is a great day. You know, underrated. Well, maybe. I guess it's towards the end of the week, right? So people probably rate it somewhat highly. But I feel like it should have a more venerated place in our society. Because, like, you're, like, at the end of the week. You have one day. Friday, I don't know, maybe you have big important jobs, but I always know like Friday always feels like the screw off day.
Oh God.
Like, so then it's almost like Thursday is like your little bonus Friday. Friday night.
I didn't know about that,
bonus,
man.
Like Thursday night is your little
Friday is like the wrap up day of my week. Oh, so that's funny. We should talk about that bit because you're right. Like Thursday, why I love it is the anticipation of the weekend.
Right.
And it's like the opposite of a Sunday. It's like Sunday's the dread of a Monday.
And Sunday you get off, right? So it's still good in that sense. Like you don't have to be anywhere or do something on a Sunday, but there's dread, right? Or the opposite side, the Thursday is like there's work, so you got to do that, right? So that sucks. But there's like the opposite of dread is like the hope, you know, for that magical weekend that could be. So welcome to that. Welcome to the Hangout with Adam and Ryan, we live on the hopium of Thursday weekends.
Did you just call it hopium?
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm snorting the hopium.
We have a good show for you tonight.
I guess you smoke hope.
You smoke hope?
Well, you smoke opium, right? So you would have to smoke also hopium.
Wait, did you just make that word up? Is hopium a word that you just made up on the fly?
No.
Right.
It's been on political people use it as someone who's like hoping against all facts and knowledge. It's like he's smoking that hopium.
Well, it's good. All right, so we had some fun this week. It's like we say this every time. We're going to say it every time because 2 weeks between us talking really is always a lifetime. A bazillion things happen.
Totally.
Our lives go crazy and we come back together and then we have the energy. I think the energy is helps the show because we don't talk to each other daily. We don't text each other a lot.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, but like we're in Discord. Like I feel I see stuff in
fair.
Discord and we're writing back and forth in Discord more than we are like texting each other. But
fair.
You know.
But I would say for the average friends, some people are like always up on that.
Yeah.
But
that's
like
true.
I think you and I don't check in.
I'm bad about it with anyone. So if your name is, or if you're not married to me or are blood related to me and my the children, I'm bad about it.
Well, it's all good. So that's why we have the show.
That's why we have the show.
We can check in.
Yay.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about AGI tonight. Woo! So I just had some concepts. I was just reading about it. I think that was cool.
Totally.
You had something. What was this? Oh.
So we're going to, if you've been in the Discord, you saw that I posted some like a fun video and we're going to play with some software that we looked at. I can't remember if it was last time or the time before this, but we looked at Kling and some of the ways that it can generate stuff. But anyway, it's the Sora killer out of China is now made it so that you can do it even if you don't live in mainland China.
And it's called Kling.
And it's called Kling. And we're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna create some things. So what we need from everyone in the chat is what are some text to video that you would like to see? What I would say when you're thinking about this from the little bit that I did, think of like not very much movement, like, or a little bit and lots of like action from people. Like think of like actions that you could be doing. I feel like those work the best.
So we're going to get some actions going in. Okay. Well, we'll get some more details on it. Did Michael Doran make Kling, by the way? If you get that, you get a star.
What is that?
Oh, you're going to have to figure that one out. If anybody in the chat knows why I would have said that, then we'd go from there.
Good.
All right. So I want to talk about 3D printing a little bit. I did a bunch, but it's called Dead Ends in 3D Printing Industry. Not to say that it's necessarily dead, but there's some interesting concepts that, as I was looking for a 3D printer, got some hot takes on it. Just want to go from there. We'll jump into the Kling pieces.
Yeah. We'll generate some stuff, show some stuff that we've done already. It's going to be fun, I bet.
And I think the fun part is we got some, we spent a lot of time to make the cover for our Game Boy game. And then we didn't get a lot of interaction on our Game Boy channel on GB Studio, which is fine. It's like it's very small industry. We want to be part of that. We're learning a bunch of things from them. And of course, the one time we were like, change it up. And we put an AI cover, which is literally the only thing we really truly did for that. Yeah, Michael Doran couldn't pull Kling off. He knows what he's talking about. Ryan's in the dark.
I
on
have no
this one.
idea, man. It's like I'm getting FOMO here.
He could be a Klingon. Let's think about Worf.
Is that Michael Dorn?
Yeah.
Is plays Worf? All right. Well,
you
see,
go.
now I'm back in.
He's into. All right. So then, so there's drama around us using an AI.
Yeah, and
cover.
I think it would just be interesting. I literally put that on there because I think it is an interesting like conversation to have about whether we are using it, why we are using it, like, and there was a good discussion about it.
And I felt like I had to justify ourselves. Like one of my
Totally.
first things coming out was like, we didn't just like prompt and print, and
Right.
that was my thing. I was
Totally.
like, we put
It was
some
good.
effort into it.
I feel like you had a great like response to it. So
Thanks.
that's why I was like, hey, we should share that
Hell
what we
yeah.
talked about.
Then I wanted to, since we're talking AI stuff, which we tend to do, I was actually thinking, have I showed you my GB Studio helper? And I probably haven't. So maybe we play with some GP helper. So it's a chat GPT that I made for GB Studio.
Nice.
And
okay.
so it's something that just helps me when I'm
Yeah.
like thinking of code. It doesn't write it.
You know, I would love. Can we look at? Would you be willing to show like the innards of the things that you
absolutely.
have done it? Hey, Higley. So yeah, because I have made my own GPTs. Like I made one for Network Leader for marketing for Network Leader, and I've done it for our the adeption that I work for and all sorts of things. But you always have like different and cool and ways of setting your stuff up like that. So I'd love to see it.
Absolutely. It's actually been one of my favorite things to do lately is to set these up.
Nice.
And I have a few tips, and I did kind of clean out my side so we could open it up and go between things.
Nice.
Just so we
Great.
wouldn't. Did I show you the no BS one last time? I don't know if I ever showed you no
Oh,
BS.
yeah. Was that the one? Here's one step that Adam goes that I still have not I've allowed myself to go because it feels so ridiculous, which is saying things like, I will give you a bonus, ChatGPT, if you do this really good. It feels like, oh my God, do I really need to say that to a computer
Yeah.
that is definitely not going to get a bonus or care about that at all? Anyway.
So it's funny because I've really been. I feel like I'm tip of the spear. Not like I'm the guy that like does all the stuff, but I'm always pushing to try new things at work. And so I have another one I wanted to show because I had this really great idea on how we could use this thing. And I was like, hey guys, let's try this. And they're just like, you got to think about the security, And it was like a bunch of wet rags on this concept. And I'm like, I understand it's a tool. I'm not saying this is the strategy or plan,
Right.
but we could leverage this and we should because we can't just be in the past. So I will show you one of those
The whole
builds
spiel.
too.
The whole
It's-
spiel.
It
of
goes
not,
into that.
Not going into the past. Yep.
And then I got another big energy for the game. Ryan, we may show it. We may have to go grab some of those things that you do.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll knock the door seeking payment. Actually, mine were more threats. So so let's just say I'm definitely not going to survive the AI alien robot apocalypse. All right.
Oh my God, that's awful. I remember back in the day, I was at a computer lab and I would need to use all of the computers in a whole row overnight to render out frames of an animation. And I would come back in and be like, "Thank you, computer, for working all night on it." And I remember because I was like, I saw the Matrix, animated
no.
series. I know how this robot uprising happens. People being jerks to him.
And oh man, right when you said that, I remember the point where he's like ripping the arms off the guy.
Fucked up. Like, excuse my language. That animation has stuck with me over the years. And that exact one,
Yeah.
the mech suit and just ripping dudes apart, that whole part.
That
is
one was a terrible piece.
Seared in my brain. Or them beating up do you remember the part where they're beating up the woman with a baseball
Oh,
bat?
yeah.
And you're like, holy shit, they're beating up a woman with a baseball bat, but then it's a robot and they're just ripping the clothes off her and her skin off and
And her
everything.
face is all come. I totally if you haven't seen that, it's
what is that called?
the
Matrix?
Animatrix.
Animatrix.
Yeah,
There it
that's
is.
a good one. I'm
That's a good
a
one.
big Matrix fan. I watch Matrix a lot. For
It's
some
come up
reason.
in multiple. It's come up in multiple shows at this point. Remember, last show you were talking about the Matrix and trying to fight Mike Azul about it.
Oh, what were we?
Yeah, because he was saying they were terrible, and you were saying they.
Oh, yeah. I guess that. Because I watched it a couple times now.
Yep.
I hated it the first time, though, too. But Ryan has been building pieces to the game, and he actually found some old artwork. Actually, I found some old artwork, too. I don't think I showed it on the show.
Perfect.
We
Old
should
artwork.
go through old artwork.
Great.
There's got to be something, though.
Great.
Yeah, I know the latest installment, but I'll still fight you on it because I understand what they were. It was like the biggest F you. Okay, we're not going to get into this.
Fight.
You're like, slap, bet, slap.
Yeah.
We need to get one of those going again.
Totally, we do.
Yes,
I feel
for
like
sure.
someone vote on it. I will say that if you saw some previous episodes in between these shows, Adam has been doing a cool job of playing video games and doing 3D printing stuff.
Thank you.
Fun.
The fun part is I've been playing Dead Space, and it has been. I think I have to bring the energy of positivity and fun to it, so it's not stressful and like, oh my god. Because I'm in there, I'm like, this is great. Whatever, I'm gonna just blow this guy's arms off. There's been a few points where I got my scared, and I'm like, you could see me jump on the video and stuff. It was pretty good.
Okay.
But just to show you one quick thing before we jump into it is, see those multiple versions of glasses down there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been doing some glass printing. So this is the pair that I landed on. So this is quite possibly the best pair that I have printed to date out of the over hundreds of pairs that I've printed. And I have many pairs.
Can we switch to that camera?
Oh man, I wonder if I could get to it. Let's see if I can.
Let's see. This
will be fun because I've never tried this. This is a good moment. Can we see the glass? Okay, we have to go this way. I don't know if it's gonna get to it. Okay, hey, talking about the Matrix.
Boom.
Oh, look at that halo over Trinity's head.
Oh my god,
my
it's
goodness.
a metaphor is what it is.
Look at all those glasses right there. Look at that. Oh, that one right there, that's my first pair of glasses.
Nice.
That lasted, they're very thin, lasted a lot of time. So some of those glasses, and this is not all of them, this is just the ones that actually made it to where they could even be on my head.
Right.
So good times on the glasses.
Nice. That's great. That's fun to have, and I'm glad the camera could catch it.
I know. That was why we had to have the zoom around camera.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's good times. All right. Anyways, getting into it, AGI.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk it up.
Okay.
So I've been going through, and we'll get into the concept around this AI kind of crap around our game. But as I've been thinking about it, wait, you need to frame those in a box in school? Yeah, maybe I should. That would be cool. Oh, got to give Stealth Mouse some credit here. This was her idea. She's like, I wanted to do that. Ryan was like, I love it.
I was like, that looks great. That looks great, man. Cool.
Good on you.
Totally.
So AGI, here's the deal. I was going out reading about it, and I started.
You just happened to be reading about it, or?
Okay, I know you're not into it, but I'm into Tildays still, and I use the Tildays app by the Reddit is Fun guy, so I read it daily.
Okay.
And here's one reason that I actually love Tildays is that I've got my feed all really good to go, and it has an end. I get to the end, and I'm like, oh, I can disengage now.
That's why I like the New York Times, because I'm like, oh, I'm scrolling through and reading headlines and clicking onto stuff that I like, but then at some point it stops.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'm out. I can get out.
Yeah.
I've got a couple Reddit posts and things that have cropped up, and apparently Google, by the way, has an exclusive deal with Reddit. If you saw this now, so they got into that.
Burn.
Yeah.
Mike Azul with the burns.
Yeah. You know what, bro? I invited you. I'm disinviting you.
Yeah, you're like, that's it. Oh, believe me, Tildays will take whoever they can get at this point.
So at first, all right, because we're going to address this, is that Tildays, yes, is a smaller community, but I definitely appreciate the conversations. People really put effort into each of the conversations they have in it, and it's not as much one-liners and zingers. Absolutely some times for that, but I love just the depth in the comment section, which I can't find anywhere else. And then, there's not all the nuanced conversations, but the top ones usually have some good
Still
stuff.
good.
So
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Totally.
And then I feel like I can participate too. So maybe it's my old man-ism about that's doing that. But getting to AGI is where I found this. I found this on Tildays, and it was this conversation and said, someone is wrong on the internet, AGI Doom Edition. And so if I'm just going to show it because it's not going to even, you're not going to want to look at this on stream. There's going to be zero reason that you would want to see this. and I'll show you why. It's because it's a bunch of text.
Sure.
It's just a big old text box. So that's fine. We're going to talk to is we're going to break it down. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and check this one in the chat.
And you just thought this was like an interesting idea around AGI, or like it brought up some points you hadn't thought about before, or is like done by a person that's big in the thing?
I love the questions. Let me frame it up. So I go in there and people are going off and thinking AGI is going to change the world. It's going to kill humanity. It's this big thing that it's going to, LMMs are going to become conscious and it's going to create this pandemonium. And so everyone's been debating. It's the philosophical rabbit hole we go down every single time.
Totally.
So there were 3 key points that I pulled out of this article, and then the discussion went around it, and they were like, yeah, this is pretty interesting. And the first one was just a little bit of the critique on the exponential technological progress. So if you know Ray Kurzweil is a futurist.
Yep.
We've talked
Works
about
for
him on the
Google.
show. He does all these things. And so one of the things is everything doubles, and it exponentially is growing over time. And it's really popularized across everything that everything's exponential. So there is some truth to things just growing exponentially, but there's also some stuff that he's done wrong. A lot of stuff that he's done wrong. And it's almost like
People probably focus on the ones he gets right? Because that's
For
a more
sure.
interesting story and everything, but yeah, I would love to hear, because I haven't heard the things that he's got wrong.
and that's the thing that they're saying is like it's almost to the point that it's like a messianic religion. And so this author of this post that I put out there, they're just basically arguing that they're like, his bigger predictions largely inaccurate, and the belief systems are kind of irrational, and so it's created this pandemonium that we're going so fast that AGI is going to come and get us.
Yeah.
And so they just put some good points, and there's a lot more data in there that they're able to pull out and then talk about that. So it was interesting because it helped dispel it, because like, man, I'm kind of like that. I always talk about the exponential and this Ray Kurzweil kind of deal. The other one was just like real world experimentation, and this is the reason I even put this on the stream, is they talked about the scientific method and like what it's taken to get to some of the answers that we've done. And it's not just like theoretical reasoning, but it's the true like scientific method of testing things and failing and doing these things. And LLMs at this point are more theoretical, pulling some basic concepts together, but the reasoning piece is the challenge. And they're like, it's not going to get to this point where these practical skills of being able to go in there and rely on these iterative kind of scientific methods are going to be something that help it become this superpower that's going to come and take over everyone and kill humanity.
Okay.
So I love there was a lot of detail that they go into explaining some of those concepts. So pretty interesting to hear about some of the reasons as to why science is why we're where we're at now.
So the science side of it, is that kind of the idea that you know how we were talking before when do you remember Q-Star? Remember when I came up with Q-Star, right? And it was sort of OpenAI's like, oh, but was it their secret of they've really invented AGI? Because what they've done is they've combined the like analytical side of AI with the creative side of AI. And so now they have both, right? Where it can do creative work, but it knows that 2 + 2 is 4, like on one side. And so analytical on one side and creative on the other side, is it almost feels like that's what they're saying is like going to be harder to get to than maybe people are saying. Are they saying in this article that it's going to take longer, or we're never going to get there?
It's gonna be very difficult to get to that piece. They're saying it's not infeasible. It's just that where we're at now, and so you almost teed up the last point, is just the limits and the simulation limits, is that it's not feasible because it would need to perform a bunch of experiments and then keep refining that and then understand the world and what that means to it. Right. So there's some constraints. Just like computationally, like power is already a big issue with AI right now, and to continue that growth, which go back to the Matrix, that's why they use humans for power and other things. But there's like some uncertainties. There's some it's a little unrealistic to think it's going to take over in the short term because of a lot of these other constraints that are out there. And they made a good point against that. So I just wanted to bring that up because I think we've been going like, oh my God, it's coming. Right. Things are going to go crazy. How are we going to deal with it?
I love this. Well, so like I know one of the things that they've been running into with like drug testing, right? They were like, oh, AI is going to help with this a ton, right? Because it combine all this stuff together, right? And then find the patterns that make these like amazing new drugs. They were like, the problem with like all of this AI stuff is like then it runs into real life, right? Where you can come up with all of this stuff, but like you still have to test it on humans and manufacture it and do all this stuff. And like until you have those AGI, agents that can just go out and do all of that, like it runs into the real world problem, right? Where like it can do as much thinking as it can, but then at some point you got to test it and try it and do all of those things. And especially with healthcare, when you're talking about human bodies, you can't just be like, you can't just say like, the computer says it's gonna totally cure you. Clunk. Like, I mean, it's still, you still got to test it on real people and in certain ways and do double blind, whatever. And all of that still takes time and is, human fallible.
I was just thinking maybe that's what the Animatrix is about. They weren't really killing us. They're like, oh, we got to test our theories. What? I'm sorry. I thought that was good.
That doesn't make it better.
No, it doesn't. It makes it even worse.
In fact,
oh, I'm sorry.
If it was like apologizing the entire time.
Oh, crap. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, sir. Didn't mean to
like
rip you in half.
Patting them on the head as they're crushing the skull.
That's awful. I need to rewatch that. I bet that's on.
I have it on disc somewhere, so if you ever need that.
Do you have a single thing that plays a disc?
Yeah, it's called a Xbox Series X, and I have original Xbox. I even have a VHS player by your needs, sir.
I guess I'm asking the wrong person.
Yes, you are.
About whether you have old, obsolete technology.
I know. I need to get a record player, though. So, anyways, I thought that was a great conversation. We're never going to know in the short term.
But I like that idea. We have gone on pretty far on the side of the other way, right? It's nice to talk about like how maybe it's not going to be AGI in 5 years.
And I think there's going to be a lot of advancements. They talk about
100%.
jobs being replaced and other things. It's just how do we adapt to it and what are we going to do? So that's great.
Totally.
So Ryan needs some text prompts for video suggestions.
If anybody's out there, this was just this thing in the Trello is just the slide in the Trello is just to remind us to, hey, we're going to be doing some video, some text to video. Think of some fun things that you would want to see. I did a kitten riding a roller coaster, as a text prompt. Like something like that could be fun, something where it's sort of not too complex for it to understand, right? That we can get something kind of like riding a roller coaster was not actually good because you'll see, but something with like action happening. So anyway, think about that. Put it in the chat if you.
I'm trying to think like, is there something cool we could do with our show?
Well, I did a couple things.
Okay.
I did a couple things with the show. They did not turn out, but I brought a few items in case we wanted to try other things.
We've got some show and tell,
Yeah.
so that's good. Yeah. Let us know because it would be fun to have some crowd.
Because it's hard to come up with that stuff on the spot, right? So I figured I'd give everyone a few minutes to.
Fair enough.
Fix those things.
All right. So as you're thinking about, I knew there was.
It was going to be a Velociraptor doing something.
Rapping about pizza. That would be perfect. Then we just got to mesh it with your.
He's going to be like holding
done.
pizza, like one tiny arm on the mic.
Velociraptor. Man, it just makes sense. It has rap in the name. I never even realized that. Damn, I'm dumb.
Nice.
Velociraptor.
A rapping Velociraptor.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a word. Okay, we're going to get that. That might be one of them. Thank you, sir. All right, we're going to get into some 3D printing talk because last time we had Campy that was on, and that was the guy that said, hey, I saw that you do some 3D printing. And I was like, okay, well, here's a little bit of concept on 3D printing. I've been looking a lot at the industry. And sorry that I'm talking so much this morning. This morning. It could be the morning somewhere. Fair enough. But what I was thinking about was 3D printing, getting this new printer, some things that I wanted to purchase in terms of the multicolor. And I was like, this industry is awesome. Let me go check this out. And I came across an article that was talking about 3D printing's at this like limit right now because of some things that they're not doing. Like the industry is almost a little too into itself is basically what it's talking about.
Okay.
So they were like, there's all these advancements in 3D printing, but it's still pretty expensive. And then, and they're thinking about it probably from the lens of a manufacturing perspective. Like, can it take over major manufacturing?
Right. They're talking about like not just little home 3D printers at that point, right? It's like, why isn't it taking over industries like we thought it was
precisely
going to?
Like the additive manufacturing industry. Like, why is that? Because it has grown. There are some opportunities for it, but but I just thought it was really interesting because it focuses on proving like technological issues like that it has with itself than really like going to some other manufacturing requirements and just producing a lot of parts like quickly and effectively. So that was one of the interesting things. It's like the problems that it's solving are not really moving forward some of the industry. So that was kind of an interesting perspective.
Because I always said, how come I can't rent a 3D printer from Home Depot and say, go 3D print me a greenhouse in the backyard and backhoe, trailer it into my backyard and set it up there, and it would have all the pipes and everything. And we never got there.
That's a great question. You can go rent everything else in there, and
how cool would that be?
And so I think that's the gist of what the article talks about is like, what are the challenges that we have in the industry? And like the other ones was saying it's going to take some considerable investment by some major companies to say, okay, this is what we want to do. And then really, as you invest in it, then you would be able to start looking at some of those innovations, but you need the innovations for them to invest in it. So it's a little like one before the other. So really the idea then was to compete with any kind of traditional manufacturing, they have to figure out something different. So they were talking about filament, for example. It's like this thing that's getting pulled through. And if you go into additive manufacturing, think about recycling. What do you need to do when you recycle something? Like you get a bunch of recycled stuff. How do you turn that thing into recycle? I don't know if you know the process of recycling. So
I assume
it gets cut up into little pellets.
Oh, right, that's
and
right.
So you get these like things, and they like make.
And then you can do a bunch of stuff with that, right? Melt it down, or put it into molds, or even just add it to things.
And they're like, why don't you figure out how to do that with 3D printing?
Totally.
And having some kind of like pellet way of making it happening, or other ways that it might start to be a little bit more viable.
I see. So like they're saying using recycled plastic to do it?
Not even recycled, just saying like the method is around big spools of filament.
Right.
And is there different ways to be able to use things? Like they keep saying, oh, filament's the way, or this is like the additive way that, or the particular ways that you'd use, like, I don't know, filaments and then nylon. And there's a couple other ways that you'd make it. But then they keep like nuance changing some of the things, like, oh, if we use it this way, we need to adjust the vibration on this little side so that this thing doesn't work. And they're like, well, good job on fixing the vibration.
Sure.
Really didn't like fix a lot. You just tuned up something. Like, why don't you make it innovative and make it easier to make this thing happen?
It does feel like it's hit a little bit of a rut. You hear a little bit about 3D printing in the sense of like a suburb, was 3D printed in Austin, Texas or whatever. But then like it just sort of dies out from there. Nothing has hit sort of mainstream. Is that just because it takes, because, like you talk about filaments, but like all of that big stuff is sort of concrete printed, right? Isn't it? Like for the most part?
Yeah. And I mean, it's a 3D printer. And the hilarious part is we talked about this. It was like 1960s or even before that they like had systems of 3D printing that way.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting because it doesn't seem to have gone. It doesn't seem to, I've always said that it feels like that had such promise, right? And then it just kind of petered out. It seems it's like more like a home thing and a prototyping thing.
Well, and you're right. And there are some options because the delta between hobby, home, and then maybe even small business and then manufacturing is humongous.
Yeah.
So once you even get to, I think I talked about this, it's about $40,000 to $50,000 to get a machine that would be pretty decent for manufacturing. So like, let's just take an example. Let's say you're a bike shop.
Yeah.
So you're a bike shop. You want to go and create custom parts for weird bikes that are out there in the industry.
Yeah.
And
sell them on the internet.
Sell them on the
It's
internet.
like your cool brand, and like, yeah, it
could be your cool brand.
227X.
Could be replacement parts for bikes that are old that just don't have parts out there.
Right.
And so you wouldn't go stock those parts. It'd be really expensive to get them. So what you do is you print parts to order. So there's this thing called fuse. It's nylon little filament that gets kind of fused together. There's a whole process. And the reason why nylon is important because it comes out of the printer ready to ship, ready to work. Like you could make a pedal for a bike that is absolutely going to stand up to being a pedal for a bike through this thing.
Nice.
And so I'd say if you ran that business for a year or maybe even 6 months to a year, you probably pay for that printer that you purchased. And then you just have to make sure you're doing things. You can customize it. You can put names on those pedals and do all that kind of stuff. But then from there, from that $40,000 to $50,000 printer to the like manufacturing grade all the way to the top, I mean, we're talking maybe $100,000 or more to even get to the level of a low grade printer for that kind of industry that can even get anything out. And so that delta is a little bit wide, and manufacturing's like, you know what? It's way cheaper. We got better parts when we just do this, like shove this thing in this mold and spit out this part and we're good to go.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like they're probably not for nothing, but it feels like your 3D printer is very fiddly, but I guess probably like things that cut out parts are fiddly too, right?
I think they're a lot easier and you can do it a little different. Now,
you just like clunk, just like stamp it down and have a part.
I think my 3D printer is fiddly because it's a little older. Like the newer ones, and even people are complaining about this. They're just like, it just works.
Nice.
It's like we don't get to fiddle with it, and so people are actually.
I feel like you,
about that.
I feel like you would be in the same boat.
Well, that's why I'm a holdout for it. I'm like, I don't want to fiddle. I want the weird and like having to adjust.
Yeah, like
it
I want the
and do
dot
thing.
matrix and the baby Z step and all of the things.
We're making a freaking Game Boy game for God's sakes, Ryan. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
like,
want that.
you know,
Come on, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some AI work. We talked enough about it. So 3D printing AI, it seems like, you know, it's a theme. What I like about this is I think we've matured our conversations to not going down the philosophical rabbit hole anymore.
It doesn't need to for every time, right?
No,
we've
no.
said our piece about the eventual, you know, takeover of all this shit.
Which I think there's its place for it. And what I appreciate about what we've done is that we use it as a tool. And I like that some people are still like, oh, this is not something you should be doing. You're stealing from me.
Oh yeah, do you want to talk about that? Is that right now?
No. I think we got to do let's play some
Cling.
I want to
Cling,
see this.
cling, cling, cling.
Oh God, let's cling about, man. Tell us about this.
So this was touted a while ago as being the Sora, competitor or killer, right? Sora's the text to video that OpenAI is coming up with. It's in sort of like testing right now to make sure that you can't, make Donald Trump getting assassinated, videos in it and things like that. And so, but China don't care about that. So China, a company in China was coming up with this, and we checked it out a couple weeks ago, I think. And text to video, image to video. And we couldn't get into it because it was all in Chinese and you had to sign up with a Chinese, phone number, and it was a whole thing. But now, just this week, a few days ago, they opened it up to the entirety of the US. So I played with it a bunch last night, and we have our whole 66 credits left, so we can do about 6 things, and we can try some of this stuff.
I'm liking it. Is all of this AI generated then?
All of it, this is AI generated. It might be from a picture, or it might just be from straight up like.
Can you feed it a picture?
Yeah. So
like
do you want to look
cool.
at? Yeah, it does look good. Does it not move?
No, it just chills there.
Okay.
This little cat.
These are just images, I guess. I guess it can do images.
It's a little creepy.
That is creepy.
This lady's on fire a little bit.
Yeah, so I played with it and found, certain things work better than other things for sure. Like I tried to upload some of our art. I tried to, do some text prompts and stuff, and I figured we could just, look at this. I guess the ones that
copyright
have
violation.
100% take it down. DMC'd.
These are cool.
Yeah. But like, I mean, this is nothing that Midjourney couldn't do at this point, right?
No,
like
yeah,
just the
that's
images.
Interesting. Okay, so what do we want to do? Do you
Okay,
have
so
some
go up to the top. Do you want to look at the ones that we already did?
Yeah. Let's
okay,
see
so
what you already
go
did.
to my assets.
Here, I'll let you run.
Okay. So we're gonna go to my assets. My assets. All right. First one
Oh God.
was, just a text prompt, and it was a kitten riding a roller coaster. Can you do it?
Come on, China.
Can't what?
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, blocked in China.
Is it? It's right here.
Yeah, it's showing it.
He was playing on my computer, Adam Pocious.
It's.
Here we go. Here it is. Okay. So he's going backwards, obviously, and then his little paw just like disappears or something at the end there. And I was hoping it would be more exciting than this, right? This is like the build up. But anyway, it did something. That's a cat. That's a cat on a recognizable roller coaster. I feel like it's better than it used to be. Okay. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to upload an image and I'm going to do our key art, basically for the cover, and I'm going to remove, so I removed the Skull Bobs thing, and I removed a bunch of the other stuff, so it was just Roby and the skull, and I was like, what is it going to do? And like, it just sort of zoomed in a little bit. And then at
It's a
some
zo-
point,
Well, he's wearing sandals.
yeah, like,
Oh, he's wearing sandals.
you're like, come on, those aren't sandals. Give me a break. Anyway, so not great there.
Yeah.
Not great. Okay, so then I was like, oh, I'm giving it away. So then I was like, all right, I'm going to do another text prompt, and I'm going to try to get like a drone shot of a brewery, like flying through it like a drone. And I put like what the stuff would be. And,
Dang.
so it's like, okay, I don't know what this is.
It's
like
a forklift.
This becomes like, it used to be a thing of bottles, and then it just became a forklift or something. Or some kind of little drone robot.
It's like it took...
And it's very wiggly. Look how wiggly it is.
I feel like this is an actual video, and it just like took it and it...
But like I told it specifically, like, yeah, so okay. Create a drone fly-through video of a large brewery interior, beer brewing area with towering kettles, fermentation tanks, and bottling lines showing bottles being filled, capped, and labeled. Don't show brewery workers. No shaky cam, blurry, empty, or slow paced. So you can add some things to it.
You did
right?
good. I like negative prompting. That's cool.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that one.
So then I was like, oh, I gotta get a skull, right? We gotta get Skull Bob in here. How does it do with Cyclops skulls? Awful. So I was like, a Cyclops skull with a big green jewel for the eye. Cyclops skull has a crack in the top, and it's sitting on top of a beer barrel. I guess it sort of got all of that if you count that as a crack.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Negative prompt, 2 eyes, 2 eye holes. Make sure there's not 2 eye holes. And there's freaking 2 eye holes.
There's
right
just
here.
too many skulls on the internet.
There's too many skulls on the internet. Right? And not enough Cyclops skulls. We got to change that.
Yeah, we need to start that change.
Okay. And then I did push in. I did I wanted it to pan around it.
Oh, so it gives you...
It gives you some of those things. So we'll do some of that.
That's cool.
And then finally, this is my favorite one.
Yeah,
this is the one that is on Discord. I took this picture. So this very initial picture, I don't want to, this one right here. This is a picture of my wife and my son, and my wife's like sort of feeding my son like a piece of funnel cake at the fair, just because he's being, a punk and asking for one as the first bite while he's on his phone. And here's what it came up with as the 5 seconds that it thought, which it looks like they're a couple, obviously. He's like looking up at her, like he's like, anyway, the teeth are bad. The teeth are bad. But I thought that was like, okay for an animation of it. It feels like early Dolly stuff.
Wait,
right?
hold on. I want to see in this background. What's going on in the background?
Just people are like walking around.
Well, look at it's like there's a... What the hell's going on in that back room?
Well, it was like, did it know it was at a carnival and thought that was like a ride?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It looks like a ride.
I didn't even look at that when I did it the first time. That's hilarious.
The little dude in the blue shirt just kind of like zooming
weird,
around.
Weirdly like sidestepping into the scene. Okay.
I mean, but okay, let's just be honest. That's pretty damn cool. That
Free
we're to the
thing
point.
that we could just like do that, right? Okay. So
we have 2 in the chat: Velociraptor rapping about pizza and a duck doing the hokey pokey.
Okay.
We got to use it.
Yeah. So one thing that I wanted to do,
Oh.
download these.
How many times do we have to do this?
So we have 6 times.
Okay, we're using the 2 chats.
You
will get your chats.
Don't worry. Don't worry. But what I did do is I downloaded some things that I think could be interesting. Like one is our Roby, which I upscaled in Photoshop so that he's like 600 pixels by 600 pixels, but the exact so it didn't blur it or anything. And then also a very
Recent picture of you guys.
not even a recent picture. This is from a while ago,
Oh.
but
I saw July 24th. I thought it was yesterday.
no, it's from when we did the Big Dog Brag, and I
Yeah.
was like, I wonder what they would do with all this like water and these logos
Yeah,
and
that's cool. That's a
things.
good
Like
idea.
I thought I was like, that could test it, to see if it actually like
Oh, you just doxed us.
isolated the wrong thing. Did I?
Yep.
Sorry. Okay, so let's do a text prompt. AI video. Okay, so here's what we get. We get a prompt. It can have 2,500 characters, which I think is pretty good. You can crank up the creativity or the relevance, right? They don't let you do any high performance stuff or high quality stuff. That's not yet. You can't do 10 seconds. You can do any of these. I was doing them mostly square. And then you can pick the camera movement. So you're like, oh, do I want, yeah, like panning around it. Oh, wait, where'd you go?
What are you looking for?
Remember, like, did you just not see the little like versions of it that came up? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I was like, because that's what I wanted for the skull.
Yeah.
Was like it sort of moving around it, but it didn't do that.
But that's a roll, not a pan. All right. Let's do the first one.
Okay. All right. So what was it?
Velociraptor rapping about pizza.
Velociraptor, right? I don't know.
It's right here.
Rapping about pizza. Okay.
I think you should do that roll.
Do the roll.
Because that would be sweet.
Okay. Yeah. 16 by 9 or cell phone size. We gonna use this as like our
TikTok
our TikTok video.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Okay, TikTok video. Okay. Any negative prompts? Things we don't want to see in it? Blur, distortion, disfigurement.
I think we just run with what we got.
Run with it.
I think we could just see. This is our first out of the gate.
Okay, now here's the thing. Takes about 5 minutes. So we either gotta vamp or we gotta do other things in between.
It's video, so I'm thinking what it's gonna likely do.
Yeah, this would be good. What is your guess of what it's going to do?
Well, first of all, what it's doing what I'm assuming is that it's taking every one of those frames, because how many frames per second is this? Do we have a readout? It looked 30 to 60 frames a second. Yeah. So it has to make every single one of those frames is what I'm expecting, right?
Yep.
And then it's just putting together in a thing like iteratively.
Is it just doing the same thing as a large language model in the sense of like what is the next frame as opposed to the next word or the next letter?
Yeah.
Like, so it's just doing what is the next frame that it could be? What is the next frame? What is the next frame based on this previous frame?
It says your creation is brewing. Enjoy a coffee while we finalize.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's
I'm gonna go talk to Michael Doran right now.
Well, so last night I was on like some big team meeting and I was like doing these because I didn't have to pay attention to that. It was like a big town hall thing. And so I'm going through and doing that, and I set up a timer for each time that it went through. And like almost every time I forgot about the timer and went, damn it, I forgot about the timer. And now I don't know how long it takes. But the only one that I did actually stop it on was 6 minutes. So I think it's about 6 minutes for each one.
I mean, we're about halfway through this point. It feels like
it's been faster than
watching.
That.
Yeah, it's
maybe it was. It was at a different time of day, you know.
Yeah, when they're using the thing. So I don't know. What do you think? You've been enjoying the fact that we've now got to the point where we're doing video. I was looking at some old AI that we had done before. I got an idea.
DALL-E, like those DALL-E renders that we did the very first time that I brought this up, and like, what was that? October of 2022.
We're gonna start here.
Yeah, and we would do the drum roll. That's right. And they were like weird artistic versions of things.
You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give a little bit of a teaser.
Okay.
If you haven't been on the other Discord,
oh, that's right.
We're gonna give you a little teaser here. And this is 15 years, 16 years old right here.
Maybe more.
Look at this. OG.
Yeah. Do you want to
Skull Bobs?
Do you want to talk about it, or
let's talk about it.
So like we had this idea that these skulls like gave life, you know, or like were powerful in some way, and I liked the idea of like Skull Bob was like very special on his world or something like that is like something, but every skull of every person that lived on it was like powerful in some way, and some dickhead alien species came by and murdered everyone and like took their skulls and used it to power their like conquest. And so like so this was like a grunt character, if I had to say, you know, like in sort of, you know, Halo terminology, this is a grunt character. He only had one skull, so you would know that he was sort of grunty, and he was kind of, you know, he could shoot and do stuff, but it powered everything that went with it. And it was like very organic powered. Like it was in a sack that was like breaking down inside of him to power this thing, and maybe when the skull breaks down completely, he dies or something like that. So you could shoot the skull. This is when it was like a side-scrolling shooter at this point, right?
Yeah.
So we needed things.
I mean,
like
it's
that.
technically a side-scrolling kind of shooter-ish.
I guess that's true. It's a yeah.
So this is OG art, and it's funny because I have a bunch of other art like before. Let me see if I can find this where I found an old folder of a bunch of original art, and I can't even run the old game. Like, I actually found the old game,
man.
but I don't have Flash. There's nothing that we can do to run the old game.
Burn.
So I'll probably figure that out next time and see if we can find that.
Oh, but this is where like these old school drawings and stuff that you came.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
there was
there's
like
his original. There's his original uninked
the original.
and colored.
I love that. Look at that.
I gave him the teeth so he looks scarier.
Oh yeah.
But I like the idea of it like putting out some kind of signal too. I thought that was.
I mean,
cool.
he kept that from there. So
Yeah.
what we're saying is we're gonna have to like use this in the game. We
'cause
gotta
haven't come
use
up,
it.
We haven't come up with any of the other like enemies basically, except for the stupid rat.
Look at we even had a flame graphic. What
Yeah.
is this? This is so
Oh, because that was. I mean, if you look at the stuff that I brought in, that was probably from that.
God, I want to be able to play the game so hard. We have the original game.
It's like you got to be able to download some old version of Flash, right? Like it's on the internet somewhere. For God's sakes,
I know.
I can't believe Adam M. Pocious cannot find a Flash emulator.
Oh, I'm sure there's out there. Well, I'll
See,
have to-
Mike is Ruffle Flash emulator. Get it done next time, 100%.
all right, we're gonna
Adam
play the old game. We actually had a game, a
We had a
tile-based game.
We totally. It was a thing that you could jump around and do. Oh. How is he rapping? What is the rapping part of this?
You know, because he has a couple extra legs back there.
Yeah, or not enough legs.
That pizza looks delicious, by
It
the
does.
way.
It does look good. It's like a DiGiorno.
You know, because if you're a Velociraptor, you wouldn't be like rapping like a human. So
I
you're
feel like I wanted him holding a microphone in one hand and holding a pizza slice in the other hand and having a backwards hat. That's what I pictured him having to show that he was a rapper eating pizza and rapping. So, okay. All right. Let's I feel like we do one from the
so we
image?
just learned that then. We learned that we needed to be more descriptive in it.
Yeah.
What I
maybe
think we
more.
need-
Yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah.
so a duck doing the hokey pokey. What are the details that we need to
Right.
expect of him to be doing as a duck?
Yeah. Like, and not like complexity, necessarily. Like, not in a hula skirt, with whatever, but it's more like, well, I guess so, right? Wouldn't you need to say specifically what it is?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Like, and it should be some kind of action thing, right?
Okay.
Because maybe rapping is like too static already.
Well, like you just said, like holding a microphone. So, and I mean, there's only so the hokey pokey. You have to put a leg in. You have to put a leg out. So, duck doing the hokey pokey. And now let's put the details.
Do you want to like talk about what they're wearing or the style of the animation?
Oh, we got some more thing on an island in the ocean. So that's like location. So we got some location. There.
Okay,
That's
that'd be good.
So we'll take your so purple duck doing hokey pokey on an island in location. Now help us understand what that might look like in the poses they might be doing. What are they wearing?
Like
Okay, we got some helpful
Yeah.
resources.
great.
here.
I can't believe we were just gonna click on the links the chat is putting into the. All right, okay.
Oh, I saw it. It was WikiHow.
WikiHow. And this is Mike Azul. I trust Mike Azul to put links in the chat.
Only
I
Mike
trust him.
Azul can. Nobody else can.
Oh, really?
We blocked.
We gave him that.
We
that
gave him this.
power.
He has special powers.
Nice.
You put your left foot in. You put your.
Yeah, how could you read these without
wait.
sing-songing it?
Wait a second. It says put your right foot. Oh,
And you put
Put
your
your-
right foot in and
but
shake
that's
it all
not your.
about,
That's
right?
not your right foot.
Yeah, that's true. They mirrored the image.
You
You
bastards.
son of a bitch.
Now put your right foot in. Put your left foot in. Oh, these people. They got.
It's tough.
What kind of crazy?
No, well, okay, no, you're right. That's the right foot. They should have switched them.
What the hell are they doing?
All right.
Okay.
So do we want him like in a hula skirt or something? Put your right hand out. As the song goes, put your right hand out. Now take your right hand and place it to the side.
I did not know that. It's okay. Say purple duck doing the hokey pokey on it. So we'll probably do it on an island in an ocean, but we got to put some details in there. So purple duck doing the hokey pokey.
Yeah, like, is it gonna know what the hokey pokey is? Maybe that's a good test for it. Like that, if it puts its little foot out and back in, that would be a good test.
Putting, what do you want to say? Putting.
Do you think we should put that like
put the right foot
in and your right foot out?
Is it left foot though? Is it put your right foot in and
put your right foot out? Because you do and then you do the hokey pokey, right? Like you do anyway.
Okay, I think that's good. Put the right foot, because I imagine like a cool thing. It's like it's doing a little jig and it's like putting it in and not. So do we have to describe?
I don't know. Do we have to describe hokey pokey to it, or will it understand hokey pokey?
Getting its right foot bit by a turtle and freaking out. Oh my god, that starts
It's gonna be like too complex. I don't know. I don't know how complex these things get or how confused it's going to be.
Yeah, because we want to do it like we're focusing on hokey pokey.
I think you could just put purple duck doing hokey pokey on an island in the ocean.
You want to just roll with that?
I
feel like
that's
we just
more
learned...
complex, but that's more complex than Velociraptor rapting. Because that was only like 3 words.
But what we're saying is we need some sort of other descriptors. Like if you don't put like what part of the hokey pokey.
No, because like it knows.
So what is hokey pokey?
Putting your right foot in or putting your right foot out? Putting your left foot in, putting your left foot out.
It's
like
twisting,
it's gonna know.
Twisting about and like, and so we're.
But doing the hokey pokey is going like this, right? Because that's the hokey pokey part. Is like, you put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, you put your left foot in, you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey. I don't, maybe that's not the.
Turn yourself around.
Turn it all about and turn yourself all about, right? Is this the canonical hokey pokey, or have I just been to a bunch of white weddings?
Oh God,
weddings with white people dancing, and that is their hokey pokey.
Yes, because they don't do the hokey pokey at any other kind of weddings.
That's probably true, because they know how to actual dance.
Oh, so should we put?
Look at the WikiHow and see the hokey pokey part.
Wait, mastering the hokey pokey. Okay,
oh, man.
Hold on a second. We got to see this. There's a mastering section. Oh,
right.
Jesus.
Yeah, wait, what's the hokey? Okay.
That's what.
No. Go one more.
Oh, down?
No, up. So this is the hokey pokey.
Oh, I see.
Do the hokey pokey, turn yourselves around. If you just place each arm out and up at your sides at a 90 degree, and point the fingers at both hands and wiggle them up and down as you turn yourself around. So it's like this. Yeah. Okay, I basically had it.
Wait, let's see. Is there really a mastering the hokey pokey down here?
like cool sweet moves that you're putting in to change the hokey pokey?
Oh my God, they do. Part 2.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is like how to get good at it, right?
Oh,
listen to the song. Memorize it. This feels like it was written by ChatGPT.
If you want,
are all of these just written by ChatGPT?
If you want an expert, then you should know the song before the dance.
Wow.
So it starts with the right foot. So if we get AI, it should go right
I think if it does hokey pokey and it goes like this, that's what I want to see.
You know what? Should we put all of this in the prompt?
We got 250, or 2,500 characters to work with. Sure.
Oh wait, 2,500?
Yeah, we got 1,000 more characters left. We can.
Yeah,
use.
We got to do that.
Right,
we got to put the hokey pokey in it.
That's pretty good.
All right.
Okay, now I'm excited. Okay, how creative do we want this? Do you want to move the creative slider? Like maybe just like no. I want less relevance. I want more creative. Like maybe not 100%, because then it's going to be like abstract shapes, like 4.4.
Okay.
I don't think you can change anything else. Do 1, maybe 1 by 1.
You think?
Built like a 1 by 1.
Okay, we're doing a 1 by 1. Do we want? What's this? We can do it different.
How dramatic the roll is.
Yeah, you're a master.
Oh, right. Singing it at the same, knowing it. I bet I know it.
Let's do a zoom. If you're on an island.
Sure.
Is it a zoom? Do you have to
negative prompts? Yeah, well, because you could be like hella zoom. Because that one that I did of the fly through of the thing, I put zoom and then I put it all the way to the right, so it did a ton of zoom.
All right, we're rolling. We're rolling the
no
dice.
Negative prompts.
I don't know what else we do, right?
Yeah. Like static or something. Like we don't want it. We want like movement, right? So we don't want.
Yeah, I just forget.
Okay.
Like I don't know what
right.
to do.
Yeah.
All right, I think we just roll the dice. Here we
it.
go. We're going for it.
Okay.
All right. Oh, I love it. I love it.
These are fun, you know. Back to the days of like not knowing what you're gonna get.
I know it's good. So, talking about our old game, this
is the binary for our old.
No, it isn't. This is one of our. Can I zoom this out? I feel like I don't know how to zoom on this. Let me see. Is it shift? Is it control? Okay, here we go. This was our old game. And what it was a tile map. So all the zeros were indicative of a specific tile that was in our game. So it was a grid of tiles. And then if you had a number there, it was a specific tile type. And so I don't think I have. Do I have the tile numbers? Let's see here. Yeah, check it out.
Nice.
These were the tiles from the game. So this would be like the tile.
We didn't make. I didn't make these. I don't think.
No, I think this was like some of the demo tiles that we pulled from online, and then they would pull into these different locations, and so we would build the levels, and then this was basically the action script that would run that in a Flash piece.
Nice.
And so I think some of this I did actually write, and other parts of it then we had to pull from some like demos online. Yeah, I remember this. Because what it was is like if then statements and like if you do this, this is what that tile does, and we were like, all right, we can make this game, but we only had like you could not zoom into the level. It was just the level. So this probably makes no sense to people if they see it from this level. I want a version of it.
What was that? What was that type of level, or like what was that called? Like was that?
Okay, there was the tiles.
There's not going to be like a screenshot of it in
it's
here.
It's tile based.
I could show my artwork thing.
You could, which I'm almost feeling like you should.
Like now would be a good time to just, because it's not that much.
All right.
Get inspired, dude.
I know. You didn't get to see that part behind there. Wait, reference pictures. Did we have any good ones in here? Let's see here. Oh man!
Oh, show that stuff. Yeah, because this was like research I was doing on skulls, right, and how to draw them.
What are the different skull types?
Yeah, like these like crazy alien ones and stuff.
I'm pretty sure that's like just a deformed baby skull, but you know, it's an alien. Whatever.
That I probably looked up alien skull, and that's what came up.
I wonder what's in the Skull Bobs one. Walk cycle. Oh yeah, there was a walk cycle I think you had in here. That was sweet.
Nice.
I like that. How did you put that in HTML? How is this even in HTML? I don't get it.
I'm a god, Adam. No, I don't know. It was probably like a Photoshop export or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh wait, there's a hokey pokey.
Oh no, wait! I thought that was it.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "What? Oh man, it looks just like the how-to thing."
Yeah. No, we're not there yet. So okay. We did a lot of research. I know you did, Ryan. At this point, it was the time when you were doing a lot of.
This one was I did more once we moved it. So we at some point we moved it from a game to an animated series, and then it really was like a ton of work to draw all the stuff and every single thing and put it together and animate it. But this was like
this is an awesome.
This was from like our friend Jesse helped us with some of the like. Once we got out of the tile one and we knew we needed more help, he was getting a degree, a degree in video game something. And so we were like, hey, help us build this game. And he built a little side scroller part with like, this is part of the beginning part of the level that you walk through. And it had like the aliens, and then they would explode into the, that was like their death animation, was the skulls coming up in like a smoke.
That's awesome. I mean, it's actually pretty damn cool to see some of these things. So maybe we'll jump into this. Like this was an enemy. Smoke monster.
Well, that was him exploding. Like that was him dying. Like when you like, and you would just.
Oh, look at this skull right here. You're so cute.
Yep.
Do you have an animated version? No, I don't think you did.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, I think it might be ready.
That is like almost none of those things that we asked for.
Because it's a duck doing it, so it doesn't have hands to do it. He's totally doing it. That's okay. Let's just take this for what it's worth. If this is an AI duck on an island, we nailed it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not doing necessarily. It's doing its version of the hokey pokey, which is sort of wiggling about. But all right, that's true. It doesn't have arms. I didn't think about that. I thought it was going to be more cartoony, I guess.
I was I was more expecting its wings to be out and it's doing this like
I
little
see.
hokey
sort
pokey
of like
that.
a like a what are those progressive commercials or whatever? What's the one with the duck?
All right, so we got to look.
Okay,
up.
next one. Wait. Let's load up the next one.
Hold on. Oh, he was said a skull. Oh. This was from Mike Azul.
Oh, as like trying to get images.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I had only just used Cyclops, but
Yeah, so if we get the right...
the problem with that, well, this one has the same. Well, that one's good.
Is that AI
one.
or is that
I
actually...
bet that's totally AI.
You
Doesn't
think?
that look like AI? It looks like it to me.
I can't tell. Why is AI so AI-ish?
It's all this shit looks like AI to me now at this point.
That one does look like AI. Because who would have made that exact like
Right,
area?
with the ship in the background and all the stuff. Like he was just rerunning his same prompt and getting the same as this one. He was just rerunning that same prompt.
Yes, he was. Well, he
Coming into the cave.
stock illustrations. I'm
Yeah.
sure that's illustration. Then they're copyrighted.
Totally.
Boo.
Start this next one because I want to upload.
Okay. What are we
So
doing?
now go back up to the top.
You go for
Okay.
it. You know what you need to do.
We gotta download this.
Why? If you don't download it, you don't get to keep it.
No, you do, but it's good to download. Okay, so now we're gonna do an image to prompt. I think we should do one
Wait.
of the ones that I downloaded. Are those in here?
They're on the desktop there. Yeah.
Desktop. Okay. Okay, so do we want to do?
You're just saving this one, right?
Oh, is that what I'm doing?
Yeah. Just you hit cancel.
Oh, I thought I was bringing up something. Let's see. Downloading. Please wait.
Yep. You already waited, and then it popped up,
And then I canceled out of it.
and then you canceled it. You were doing the hokey pokey, and you didn't turn
turned it all
yourself
about.
around.
There, fine. There we go. Okay. So now let's add. Do we want to do?
Big Roby, right?
Yeah.
Or
let's do big. Let's try Big Roby. Even though Big Roby could lead nicely into. Game
all
Boy
right, all right.
Talk,
Take it out. Take it
right?
out. Delete it. Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought I had the same thought as you said that.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do. So this is Kathy and I and one of my ex coworkers who went and did a mud run together, and this is sort of the
Is
end.
that what you
of the
call it?
thing.
An ex coworker? That seems very.
I don't know. Like, not everyone is my friend,
But
right?
is it so bad that they're an ex coworker?
They don't.
Ex coworker.
I don't work with them anymore. They don't. Like we don't work at the same
I
place.
just-
A colleague, like a former colleague.
it just-
Would you rather have former
Just
colleague?
ex
Ex
coworker.
thing sounds like
very,
so formal. Like I hate them.
like a divorce. You're like, God, that person.
My
that
ex. My ex.
freaking
You're
coworker.
you're like, this is my ex. You're like, your ex coworker? Yeah. Same thing. What's the difference? Okay. So this is us. We were at the end of the thing. So let's put a prompt. So like, yeah, formerly known as Twitter. Okay. Like splashing mud. Something like that. Like, because we already have a picture, right? So we just want it to be like they're splashing mud.
do you? I don't know. I feel like I want to go deeper on this one.
Okay.
So like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Adam prompt style, and then you just pull me back if it seems
Okay.
too much. So,
I feel free.
contestant
I mean, we got 6 of these, so.
splashing. I gotta get this mouse. Splashing mud in a mud running
But you're like just explaining what's
Festi-
already on the picture, right?
festival with
Mud running race.
race with goopy gunk flinging in the air as
right.
they laugh and
Splash in the water.
splash in the Yeah, I got to spell splash right.
Muddy water
Muddy water.
in the
And splash
in the muddy water.
in the muddy water as they.
Maybe just period after that, and then whatever your next thought is, because you already did as they.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not that it matters for a prompt.
In the muddy water. I just go. I usually spell
just like straight out. Yeah, I do that too.
Are at the finish line. Let's see here. Yeah. Line and caked in mud. I don't know. I usually go really crazy.
Totally.
Just a little extra there. So
let's try it.
So we have a little creativity.
Okay, we can't do anything with that. Or I guess we could do less. Maybe do slightly more relevance than creativity in this one. Yeah, do like 6,
Okay.
7.
7, you think?
I don't know.
6.5?
Sure.
Split the difference?
Disabled, and so we don't get to mess with it. Any negative? Any
Negative prompt. I can't think of negative stuff right now.
It's like, what is just the words for not movement, right? Like stillness, blurry,
It's almost like you have to negative on the mud, like cleanliness
or like clean.
I'm not good at negative prompts, so I don't know. All right,
right.
let's.
Sure.
You ready to
Just do
generate?
it, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'm rolling it.
And then we can check.
All right, this is good. And so what's fun about this is we can continue doing our Skull Bobs look through. This is like a perfect thing to be able to look at. All right. OG again. I haven't actually not explored a lot of what this was. Episode 0? Oh my god, is there...
It's the rigs of the characters.
God, do you know how much time I spent in like the behind the scenes that are not... Oh, storyboards! Oh my god!
Nice. All right.
Oh god, please play
time.
this. No.
No. It's probably. No, maybe not. Yeah. See,
Damn.
he's walking in. There's no sound, right? It doesn't seem
No,
like
there was
there's
nothing
sound.
at this point.
Shoe.
God, look at this. We like literally went full bore to
Yeah.
get this damn thing.
100%. It's like this is the exact. I mean, if you've seen the original, or if you've seen episode 0 of this, it should look very similar. The hands coming up.
Him getting all like cold. Did I draw that?
I
or
feel
did
like you draw that. I feel like you drew this.
I feel like I did.
So maybe you drew the initial like storyboards of this, and
Yeah.
I did it like I did the animation.
Because this was coming off me doing my
Dream. What did this say?
It was like dream sequence.
See. Yeah. All right. So there was like alien blasting stuff that we cut out, but then like there's a skull inside of there, and then now the sun
Damn.
has come out, right? Because I think we talked about the story.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I did not realize I drew
coming
this shittily flag.
Wow. So it's really.
I'm a great artist. Sorry, Ryan. This is the artist
This
here.
is this is what we're using now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Skull.
So yeah, like because I think
Yeah.
that was the end of it. Damn, that's fun.
Nice.
It's like I didn't even. It's funny to not remember.
It's like an AVI file.
Yeah, for sure. There was some reference. God, Flash. We're gonna have to get in there. Like I have to open the Flash.
Open those Flash files. That feels like key.
I know. Wait, what was that? Skull
Ryan
Bob's
drop off.
episode guide.
Mm.
Whoa ho ho!
All right.
We were gonna have to open that and see if we can get in there. Oh, storyboards from Ryan. Oh
See,
wow!
there they are. It's the like what's complete AVI.
I think that's the end one, and it
Oh,
even
man.
has the thing. God. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, let's see. There's. Oh snap!
All the episodes.
Oh my god! This is what we've been looking for. This is the story. We went to 12 episodes.
Wow. 12
Holy
episodes.
crap! Oh wait, Roby thinking it's the end. Is surprise seed chopping the pet in half? Oh my god!
Like who knows? It's like you can't jump in at episode 10. You're not
Chris,
gonna know what's going on.
Chris, do we have an episode? Wait,
No, cries
oh,
as he roars in pain. D runs the Roby as he cries. This feels like it was written a little bit by Adam, if I had to be honest.
I just said that was Chris. That's hilarious. No, I feel like we talked through some of these points.
Oh
'Cause,
yeah,
like, this-
totally. Well, yeah, we definitely talked through all of this.
This is awesome.
I remember this.
Yeah, Roby getting concerned when the currents are happening because this was like X-Files esque time.
Yeah. Well, and this was when it was not. This is when it was like
I've not
a
found
show,
this.
right?
Yeah, it was definitely. Oh, look at that cave. Is that just a JPEG?
Yeah.
Nice. The little swirls on it.
Yeah.
Like the.
I remember I had swirl. I just had like a generic swirl of winter that I put on stuff, and I was like, Adam, make it look like this.
Yeah, that was our time. This is so fun to like find all this stuff. I like the app from Adam or from that. Defenestration. I'm scared to open some of those. Like there might be something not great to show on stream. All right, character ink. Hold on a second. I liked your little gun. I liked all your stuff. Okay, are we close? Do we have something? We do.
Okay.
Oh wait. Oh no, we don't.
No, 75.
75%. Okay, we have
Almost
a
there.
little bit more time. Yeah,
Hero Melee. Did
Wait.
you see that one?
in the scans.
Hero Melee.
Yeah, I was like, wait, is it in here too? Okay.
It's him like shooting. Those are probably animated PSDs.
You think these ones?
Yeah.
I hadn't even opened them. We'll have to do it.
Because that's when I was like, oh, right, you can animate things in Photoshop. And that's how I probably saved it out as HTML stuff and whatever for you.
But it must have been a GIF, and then it was in a folder because there's no way HTML can make what you just saw. That had to be just.
I think you can export Photoshop files as HTML files, and it builds you a little HTML like thing.
but then it like just embeds a GIF into it. Ooh, look at that! Damn, boy.
Like that skull, like I love that skull strapped across his mouth.
Like, look at where we're at today to where this was at 15, 16 years ago. We're like really on point.
I don't think there's any animation for this.
I don't think there is. Because down here is the timeline.
Yeah, that was
just
where it's
one.
at.
Like
Yeah.
you were like in the midst of coloring
Yeah.
it. So I don't want to update you now. Damn, lots of work. Now you just use AI color for
now
that,
you
and you're done.
you just AI and all this garbage.
Uh-oh. I saw something.
I saw some action happening.
I saw a lot of action happening.
All right. This guy in the
This
background.
is
Get outta here.
amazing. This is amazing. This is great.
Oh man, how am I? I'm like walking above the water. I like step out.
Oh
of
my
step out
god.
Of the
This was the best.
boat. Wow. We're not flinging mud or doing anything at all.
None of that.
Just like falling over. Kathy has no face. Everyone has a
That lady on the
creepy-
side,
Oh,
your
man.
ex-coworker,
Yeah,
is
my
like
ex-coworker. This guy's just getting in with us. He's like, I'm in this.
Wait.
Was he even in the shot?
Yeah, because his shirt has the thing.
Okay, he was like walking into the shot.
I love
in
how
the background.
he becomes the biggest part of this thing.
like
He's
honestly, he's like
shoved
it's
in
like
the
he's
corner.
jumping in. Wow.
I'm studying
It
the
has
parts.
see, it knows that I'm in shorts because before, see how it in the original, it doesn't show that I'm in shorts, but it
Yeah, that's
knows that I'm
true.
in shorts.
And that looks like your little chicken
Yeah.
legs there. No,
It
I'm just
does-
kidding.
no, that makes sense. All right.
This is great. I'm actually really impressed with. how
Yeah,
that one
I feel
came
like
out.
the image to video has been much more exciting than I
Well,
was
it has
seeing.
some things to work with. Like the mud is kind of like in the back. Look at this front part.
It's like frozen in the splash.
Well, it almost is like a chunk of mud, and you're trying to like you're stepping up on the chunk.
you know, Kathy's right leg here, like does splash up some mud.
Yeah.
You know, like it does something that isn't in the original image with
Heck
the mud.
yeah. Well,
That's
look
kind
at
of
look
interesting.
when you step out.
Oh right, yeah, and it keeps the logos here. Like it keeps the logo in front and has me going behind it. Still,
Yeah, bro in the back though. He's
I
like,
like get out of here, bro.
he's like, I want to come in with y'all.
Yeah, he's like, woo, I'm part of this. Get out of here.
This one kind of is creep.
She just like stands there and laughs.
She's like almost laughing. Like if you think about it, you're like, I'm stuck. Oh, let me help you, babe. Ha ha ha! This is funny.
Yeah,
I want to be
guys.
part of it.
Well,
guys.
like here, I'm coming in. I'm coming in.
All right, what'd you think, everyone?
All right,
I
that
feel
was
like that
pretty
was.
good.
I feel like that was really good.
Roby, do you want to do Roby?
Yeah, let's do Roby. Let's transition to Roby. What time is it even?
No. Like do the Roby cling.
No. I was just wondering okay, we're gonna have you do this. You're the expert in Michael Dorn's
Okay, we got to download.
This is definitely good.
Add in frames feature is launching soon. Add in frames. And do you see where you can say extend this 5 more seconds?
Ooh.
But they don't have that yet. Like a bunch of this stuff they don't even have yet. Anyway, I want to save this. So this guy, he's like missing an arm. Kathy's arm is super weird.
Hand opens up. I feel like we're complaining about stuff that's going to be
amazing. Well,
HD
it's like
quality next year.
Yeah, well, think about like how all that DALL-E stuff that we were talking about, a year and a half ago looked just like this. All right.
Do Will Smith eating spaghetti?
Just write that.
No, I'm just kidding.
We could. I want to do this. I want to see this Roby though. So this is something that could actually help us if it could do something like this. So this is a version. This is our one sprite of like Roby at his most kind of running, and it said that the file that you needed to upload had to be at least 300 pixels by 300 pixels. So I increased this in Photoshop and said, keep it the same. There's like a filter that you can do when you expand or increase the size of an image that says, okay, keep it exactly squared off. And so now he's like 600 by 600, but still looks pixelated. And so I think I would do like pixelated man running, but you add to this.
Add to this, yeah.
Add to this. Like, what would you like? Because let's say I just wanted a run cycle, right? Like, if he could do an amazing pixel art run cycle, that would be awesome.
I feel like it's not gonna happen, but pixelated man running in a full sprint cycle. Do you want to put the word cycle in there? Like, cause that put a bicycle in there, right? Pixelated man running in a full sprint. I think that's fine. Pixelated man running in a full sprint.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that's basically.
He's not really running in a full sprint though, because a full sprint you would have both legs off the ground.
I mean, he kind of looks like he could. Okay, so man running quickly through a platformer game.
Because you're going to get stuff in the background. I want white background.
Ryan's trying to cheat on his animations.
Totally.
Here.
Like, if it can do a good job at this, like, this is part of it, right?
It's not going to happen.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what it can do for us. It's like, I want these tools to do things for me. It's fun to make little big dog brag garbage.
You want creativity then, or relevance?
No, I want relevance.
All the way?
Yeah.
You want to go all the way?
Yeah.
All right. Ryan's going all the way here.
No camera movements. Negative prompts. What would be the negative prompt?
I have no clue.
Like, I don't want it to get out of its pixel art. Like,
I feel like it's hard because in negative,
style.
What is it saying? The types of you do not want to see in there. Examples: animation, blur, distortion. So
blur, distortion. Like, we don't want any of those things. And did we say something about pixel art up at the top?
Yeah, you said a pixel art man.
Yeah, maybe pixel art style.
Pixel art 8. Wait, is it? It's 8-bit.
8-bit Game Boy style. Yeah, sometimes when I put Game Boy, it like changes things into Game Boys.
Yeah, I think that's good. Pixel 8-bit art. Pixel art 8-bit man running.
Okay.
Blur.
Loop? Do you want to say loop? Because it says 5 seconds. Loop.
I'm gonna put loop for Ryan.
Yeah, put that for me. No blur, no distortion. High relevance.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Down this path. Let's see how Roby comes out.
Yeah.
I think this might be a good moment to start some of our conversation on the Discord piece, because as this goes in. So let's go into the story here.
Yeah, this is perfect. Me trying to do more AI artwork for this project.
While we're doing this, let's see. I don't want to dox anybody either, though, because I feel like we could.
Because you have streamer mode.
Yeah, but it's hilarious because it shows other people on here, but it doesn't show us. Huh. So I guess we're not doxing ourselves.
This is a public forum.
Yeah, fair enough. it's ish a public forum. All right, and it's not even like we're doxing anybody.
No.
We're just basically saying here's some discourse that we're in.
Our 4 freaking viewers, not doxing someone.
It's not. So here we go. We got Skull Bob's Adventure, which, if you're not familiar, we're in this GB Studio Discord, and there's all these different cool things you can do. You can get help, you get tutorials, you talk about stuff, you add, you contribute. There's about, and I think it says at the top, maybe it doesn't, 8,000, 9,000 people that are in this.
Okay.
And so we're like,
You
yay.
do that. I'm gonna grab a water.
You do that. We're excited to launch our site because we had put this on here, and what essentially people do is they have these work in progress forums, and these forums allow you to go in here and post about your game. So if you go to work in progress, for instance, you see all these cool games that people are making. You get to talk about them, see all the different things that are happening across the board. Great. Well, we wanted to put our stuff in there. So we have our Skull Bob's Adventures that we finally put in there. And we're like, yeah, let's put this as the icon. This will be fun. Here's what we're doing. Launched in the GB Studio. So we link out to our game. You can see, like, here's what the cover looks like. Here's what this looks like. And then I also just talk about, hey, we've been working on this rat animation. It seems pretty cool. Let's check it out. And by the way, Mike Azul, we're hoping that you can look at this thing so you can see if this makes sense of how this works. So we're excited, and then I go off and I'm doing work for the day, and the first thing that somebody says is, hey, seems cool, but I really recommend using AI art for the cover.
Right.
First
comment, like, hey, what I'm against is apathy, and what I am for is conversation.
Yeah.
So, like, that's totally okay. It's pointing upwards.
Yeah.
I thought it was a finger at first.
Yeah. There was two.
Yeah.
So you had two people that are like, hey, yes, these two people are like, hey, I reacted to this. Look at this. And so we're like, okay, well, apparently we did a faux pas of putting some AI art on.
I knew it was coming. I don't know if I told you this or I said any of this on the show. And so it's going to seem like I'm just, taking credit for something. But I was like, people are gonna say something if we use AI art and we put it out there. Like, that's just it. And I was like, we gotta be able to articulate why we're using it for this particular project, I would say.
Absolutely.
Which I feel like we did.
And so my first thing is like, yay, thanks for the feedback. We're basically doing this, but guess what? We just didn't just prompt and post. And I went to the effort of legitly pulling it back, showing that we actually did some work. Yeah. Went back to some old school stuff and said, this is how it was compiled. Here are the pieces of
Even Skull Bob's Adventure was stacked on top of each other, and I had to pull it apart and make it wide.
It literally took work to get to this. Look how many layers, Ryan, and that's not even there's a bunch of other layers. You had to make sure this wasn't seen. It takes work to do this. It wasn't just something that you did. So the discourse, if you wanted to read, is well, you could do that, but you know what? You're stealing other people's art.
Right.
Okay.
Totally.
That's what they're saying, is that, of course, I had to learn off other things. It's not taking this person's art and just dropping in there. That's stylistic. It's like if we went to Google and looked at a bunch of things and said, well, there's a banana. Let me figure out how I'm going to, draw a banana or something.
Right.
At least that's what I thought.
And, it's like, I see where people are coming from, and I could see the thing of not using this for a whole motion picture or a whole thing where you're eliminating a bunch of jobs. But for I don't think it's fair to just level it across the board to anyone who's going to use AI art in any capacity, right? Because I do feel like there are levels where you should be like, hey, maybe you shouldn't use AI art at this point, right? You should use real artists.
Right.
But I feel like artists need to be able to practice with this type of stuff and be able to. So anyway, go ahead.
No, you're good. I think you're hitting on exactly what I would say. And so we just said, okay, we actually have some legit art. This is art where Ryan put together. Right. I thought that one was sweet. And they're like, yeah, that one's awesome. You should use that instead. It's, not cheap. And I'm like, all right, I get the cheap comment, but we did actually put some effort in. We wanted to make it look a little polished, but we wanted to focus on the game itself. So the discourse goes back and forth, and I even go to the point of saying, yeah, I tried to get some art out of there, and I couldn't do that, and I ended up with the little pixel art kind of thing that I was able to create before.
Right. Yep.
So it goes back down to just
Sure.
them saying like, don't use AI art, just like across the board, blanket.
And
Like,
that's my thing is like, it doesn't feel like a realistic request, because like right now I can go into Photoshop and if I select something, I can use the clone tool and move something from a different part of the clone tool. How long has that been around? Right?
absolutely.
But now I can also select it and say, generate me a slightly different hand, let's say, or watch. Like, where is the line then? Is that entire artwork? Let's say it's entirely drawn by me and then has that? Like, is that not usable? I just feel like there's gonna be it's gonna be hard to find a line pretty soon. Now that all of this AI generation has been incorporated into all these creative programs that everyone uses, that like you're not going to be able to tell. There's going to be a hard time blurring, understanding which one is an AI created art. Like I'm sure there was a ton of people when Photoshop came out and we're like, you can't use Photoshop because like it takes away from all of this stuff that you're doing in the darkroom, right? And there's a skill to using the darkroom and there's a way to do it and you're faking it by doing it with this like program that you're using. And there were probably people who boycotted and said, no, I'm not using that, and like did their stuff and that was fine. But nobody would say that now. Nobody would say you can't use Photoshop if you're a photographer. You have to do everything in the darkroom. And if you post a single freaking thing that you didn't use in the darkroom, then I'm going to call you out on it. Right. And I feel like we're at that point of this where there was a time when it was like, you can create artwork in Midjourney and Dolly and it's a thing and you can post it, or you're creating stuff in Photoshop or you're creating things yourself. And now, because that has moved so quickly, it's blended all of that together. And it's like, no longer can you separate those two things, which is hard.
I mean, we're not going to change it.
Yeah.
It's the thing. It's like, we're going to go with it. I'm sorry, but we did some effort. Yeah. We really put a lot of effort into the game. This is just how it is. I even said, hey, we're going to debate this right now. So guess what? This is the debate right now. So I just thought we're
debating it with both of us on one side and you not to be able to defend yourself. But, oh man.
And when AI does this.
Oh, it's so great. Great job, AI.
I was expecting this, Ryan. I'm sorry. I knew this was going to happen.
Yikes. That's not,
We got to put that in the game.
I feel like I feel like this is when he curls up and dies or something like that. Like this feels, and they didn't even move the head at all.
Yeah, they don't know, dude. This is just not good. I just,
hey, I'm still going to have to animate my own walk cycle apparently.
Well, see, we can't use AI for some things, people. So,
all right. Well, I feel like that was a good conversation about that. And it ended with our terrible AI prompt coming out.
Photoshop is still taboo, huh? Yeah, I would say, hey, Jackson Riley got cool. Thanks for joining us up today.
Yeah, totally. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's just been an interesting journey for us to do this. Like, I'm a little disappointed because like we're like spent effort in the game and they're gonna bitch about the cover.
Yeah, hey, I'm fine with that. Like if that's what people want to talk about or whatever, like that's just the discourse of the time, right? Is to be and I feel like a politician, you should be able to defend yourself, right? Like you should be able to hear an argument and be like, here's my side of the argument for our like covers that we're creating. Like I feel like I should be able to do that for this project.
Hell yeah. And so here we go. We got JacksonRiley.cool. He's on.
He's booing. Oh, okay. He's just kidding.
It doesn't matter. I mean, we don't have to pull you along with this. So yeah, don't let the vocal minority pull you up.
Okay. So we have one. Do we have one more? Do you want to throw something in?
26.
Oh, we have two more. Do you want to throw something in as just a text prompt real quick?
God, I feel like I want to do...
do one. You haven't done one.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think like what would be a cool image to do or something like that.
Oh, you want to do an image?
Because those ones seem like those are the best.
Those are. Do you want to look through your Google Photos real quick and put in something?
It is super sketch to have me open.
No, it's
anything.
it's off the screen. Well, I can see it.
Thankfully,
I guess I can see it.
Thankfully,
I will shield my eyes from Adam's horrible.
Oh my God. You don't want to know.
So what about something from our old game? Like, remember we tried some of these images from the board game, you know?
Yeah. Well, oh, you could do this one. That was funny. All right. I'm going to do one of myself. Is that like weird?
No.
Just because it looks like I could do
Sure.
something good with this one. I'm just looking at random pictures, and this is why
This came up. Sure. I love it.
Okay, so random picture here. So I should delete this. I don't even think I care about having a copy of that because it looks terrible. So you can drag and drop.
People are just catching on to what AI images look like and comes across as poor quality and making it. I agree that I feel like I can pick out AI images. Like, totally.
Well, and I think the thing is that it does cheapen it, and I understand the
100%.
debate behind that because you're just, and so
But just like stock photography cheapens stuff.
fair. It,
Yeah.
and I think too, when I think about AI art,
Style like this.
yeah, when I think, well, maybe I should download this just for the shits of it.
You got it.
Okay, so when I think about AI art, though, it's almost like it's trained on a narrower amount of art. Like, seems similar. Like, I don't know what it is. There's something about it.
I think it's trained to look like stuff that people like. You know, like I think Midjourney really did that. That they were like, what just looks cool every time, like, and they were just slipping things in the background of every single thing that you did, unless you specifically said, I want this to look like a crayon drawing, please. Like, it was very much like, okay, it's going to look like this sort of like cool sci-fi dark background, lots of highlights, you know, something that they rubbed onto everything. And so then I feel like that sort of went across to all of it. And yeah, there's just a quality to it. Same thing as ChatGPT. There's a quality to the sentences that they put out, that people call out words in them and things like that, you know. But I've seen very realistic ones and things like that and really great ChatGPT prompts. It just doesn't happen all the time. Okay, what are we doing? We can't looking at the camera, like you're staring down into your soul. I feel like, okay, is he gonna be able to like emote that?
I don't know. That's how I want to roll the dice on it. I got one shot at it. So
what if his like beard was on fire?
All right, I like that. All right, here we go. Looking at the camera like a creepy meme of a nerdy guy staring you down into your soul with his beard on fire.
Nerdy guy, then beard on fire?
Where's that?
So like looking at the camera like a creepy meme of a nerdy guy with his beard on fire staring into your soul.
Okay.
I feel like that syntax like makes sure that nerdy guy and beard go together as opposed to
You're right.
staring at your soul going together.
And do you want to do creative or?
Yeah, you know, whatever. This is your prompt.
I'm going for it.
No blur, no distortion. We hate that stuff.
We don't want none of that. That's no good.
Yeah. No good.
Oh,
right.
man.
6 more minutes of riffing then for this one. More things to look at, or do we more conversation about AI use in our games?
Well, I think that the takeaway here is that we're not really using AI in our games.
I would if AI gave a shit about pixel art. That was like part of it was like I want to use new tools and play with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I was just gonna make a Game Boy game, everyone's made a Game Boy game, right? Or like there's 9,000 people in the Discord making Game Boy games. Like part of this is like a process, a fun project that we're doing to be like, would we use AI, this brand new tool in it? Like, and so maybe that would be the bad choice and make people mad and everything. But like at the end of it, it's me learning things and doing things that I think are interesting. And like, if that means pissing people off or something like that, then like, I don't know. It's still...
Yeah, actually you hit on I think what we were saying is that people, or at least they were just mad because they want to make a Game Boy game. And they want to make a Game Boy game that is like true to retro fashion, and you did it all like perfect, and whatever little like open source programming you're doing, and it's and we're trying to say is like we did that. I actually had a thought initially that we would somehow plug in AI to like make some dynamic,
Right? Like
like text and
dialogue or
dialogue. Like,
something.
how
I
sweet
think
would
that would
that
be
be?
sweet. Like, I love that idea for like a Skullbob's 2. Like, I feel like that is sweet. And that is like the interesting new stuff. Like, I'm not trying to just make a Game Boy game that is a Game Boy thing of a Game Boy that there's been 1,000 Game Boy games, right?
Right.
Like, it feels like the interesting, fun thing about the show and about what we do is like trying new stuff and cramming two things together and being like, what does that look like? And right now it's AI generation.
Absolutely.
And in that, so in that sense, that's what I want to do and play
not
with.
trying to screw with people, because I think what their thought is that they maybe read some articles, or maybe they even had an effect on their job because of AI, did something to them. And so, I apologize, or I'm sorry that happened.
That happened,
and,
totally.
and we're not necessarily downplaying the fact that it's coming in there. I think we talked about this before. That lady that did the art, or not the art, but the conference that I had seen in the AI. They're like, AI isn't going to take your job. Somebody using AI is going to take your job.
Right.
And so that's kind of, I think, where we're at, is we're like, okay, we've had to go through these disruptions in our lifetime. So we can just like say, no, I'm not going to use it.
That's the thing. It's like, do you bury your head in the sand and say like, I'm taking a principled stand at this point, and I'm saying like no to AI and yes to only human created stuff. I would argue that like you're way past that with Photoshop and all the things that came before this, of like cloning things and doing all of the everything that Photoshop is, or in all of those programs. But if you're saying you're taking a principled stand, that's fine. You could take a principled stand there. But know also that like for the most part, to stay in the business and keep the job that you have and do all of the stuff, like you got to incorporate all of these new tools into it, or it's like you're just going to be left behind.
And so maybe the other way to think about this is that it's like a tsunami that you can't stop. So advocate for some sort of regulation, be part of the solution of saying, okay, we understand that we can't just completely stop it.
Sure.
Let's make sure that we're being ethical in the ways that we're doing this. And I think that's what we're not trying to,
we're not trying to sell it, right? Like we're not trying to sell the thing. I guess the only thing that you would say, like the thing that I would say against it is that even just participating in any part of the movement moves the movement forward, right? Like the more that we make a kick-ass game and it happens to have AI stuff that help us do it, like that, I guess you could see that as being bad. The thing that I would say is like, if you and I would have never made a board game probably if we didn't have the help of the AI that we used to do that. And so we put a thing out into the world, like a creative, interesting, fun thing that would have never existed if not for the help of AI to get it to the place where it could be fun and interesting to people. And so what you're saying is like the argument that they have is that you should eliminate that so that it's like I've lost my entire plot of the point. Woo! Yeah, and now you're talking about stuff. You look completely different by the time you get to the end of this. I love the background though. It's like it changes,
dude,
and then it switches around.
How did it know that? I mean, even
that there was like an extra room at this site.
Yeah.
Like over here, like oh man. So this, I need to pause it. Hold on. Get out of here. Okay, hold on. Like this part, right?
Yeah.
Is the same opening that's over here.
Yeah, pretty
much.
It
didn't, and then like there's stuff on the shelves here. Like, but that wasn't it. Like the only shot that it had was this.
I know.
So it must have pulled from video footage of this room.
No way.
Like from YouTube or whatever. I mean, how many shots of this room are there?
Yeah, but let's see here. No. Because like it just changes the room completely.
Yeah, it does at that point. Because what's the original shot?
I look like a...
You look like
an Irish...
No, like a Seth Rogen. I feel like it looks a little Seth Rogen-y more than you. It's like the nose is flatter.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's like bulbous more. Yeah, it looks a little Irishy. Like it must have like taken the like reddishness of your beard and thought that was Irishy.
Let's see. Okay, so as you...
Because right now, because it has... it has this poster it knows. So then I guess it just moved the poster.
So look at as it turns, everything starts melding into something new.
Yeah.
You still have the chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
My nose is looking actually okay there.
Yeah.
Now it's starting
Now
to
it's
change.
like it's adding more glow,
It's
right?
adding
Because it was like there was glow on this side, so now there's got to be glow on this side. But then it finished off the room. You know, like in the same way that your room is finished. Like, how come it just wasn't a full bigger room in front of you?
Well, it finishes it here for sure.
Yeah, like how would it? Well, I guess maybe it's just a room. It just assumes you're in a tiny room as opposed.
I
to...
love how it's like a pin board and everything. That looks great.
Yeah, now
I think this one's a good one.
This is a good one. I feel like the pictures are the best ones.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to do that. That was good.
All right,
we got to save that one for sure.
Yeah. Okay, last one. Do we want? Maybe we wait this for. We do it at the end. And we
Yeah,
come
fair
up with
enough.
Some kind of fun.
Should we play a game with
Sure,
everyone?
we could do that.
Does everyone want to play a game?
Like Drawful,
If,
maybe?
is anybody still listening? We'll play some Drawful. You want to play some Drawful? Let us know.
Drawful.
It's weird. Adam without a beard. Wait, I have a beard though.
Oh, you're saying like prompt that?
Oh yeah, you don't want to see me without a beard.
No.
Heather is like, I will divorce you if you cut off your beard. It's been a. No, she didn't say that, but. All right, we're gonna play Drawful. I feel like that's it. Yeah,
we gotta get one in.
It didn't catch fire. You're absolutely correct.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, dang it. No, there's not even a hint of that, right?
I mean,
I forgot.
I feel like the spin of it looks good. Like my beard from there, it actually kept generally the same color.
And the shape
Yeah.
and the Cerberus, like,
Yeah,
and the
kept
white
everything.
glasses. Like, I mean, for the most part,
We got to put that in the back of our thing.
it just changed you just enough to now you look like Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen. All right, we're gonna play.
Podcaster Seth Rogen.
All right, here we go. Let's get this figured out here. I need to. Oh God.
Dead air, Adam.
Dead air. We can't let that happen. Oh my God.
Sure.
I can yap like the yappers of ever Yappington because I can just continue talking about everything.
You've been playing video games.
I have been playing video games.
By yourself.
I know I have to do that, but I am traditionally a yapper. I've realized that I'm not the best of
Shutting up
uppers.
and letting other people get a word in edgewise.
Actually, I've been practicing it. Come on now.
Asking more questions.
Absolutely. And keeping people included. I think it's important. But
hearing all the voices, it's like, let me tell you some leadership tips.
One of the things that I have been bad at is that because of the show, I talk more. Because I don't want dead air on things.
Right. Oh, you can't have dead air.
So I'm always like, all right, got to fill in the da-da-da-da. This is what we're talking about. And people are like, can you shut the... I'm sure Mike is at work is like, oh my God, this guy.
This guy can't get enough of his own freaking voice.
Oof. I had somebody tell me that, and I was like, thank you. Absolutely. It's really helpful.
Oh, and I went on for 20 more minutes thanking them. KOHU.
Do we not have music on this?
Yeah, what happened?
I feel like there should be music right now.
Draw a picture of yourself.
Oh, wait. I know why.
The music in this is terrible. Could we...
You're
anyway.
like, you like, I don't...
I like it. No, it's fine, but...
I know why, though. Here. That was funny that I knew it. Hilariously, I forgot to change our going live, and it said, what kind of survivor horror mayhem do we have tonight? was our going live message.
Wonderful.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. All right, this is by request. Oh man, we already have people in here. Wait, hold on. I didn't even get to go in. Oh, okay. Shit. I'm gonna go quick on my... Do not start it. I'm not in yet.
Oh, maybe it's like, whatever. Everybody's in. Adam could be in the freaking...
Hey, I was talking too
audience.
much.
Who could have guessed? Oh, I like the stealth mouse. That's really good. That's just a good drawing.
Oh.
All right, let's
Can't
start
believe
it.
that.
Yeah, stealth mouse for the win.
Everybody's in.
2, 1.
Farting at him.
Welcome to
Really?
Drawful. I see there are 5 players. Wonderful. Everybody, follow me.
It's a weird armpit.
Okay, I've sent a prompt to each of you.
Ryan called it. It's a fart.
Things that are kind of weird, like slam poetry or haunted bread box. Draw a picture on your device that would have that title, and when you're done, hit send. You'll get points for each player that can correctly guess your title. So, good luck.
Oh.
How much time do we have left? Does it say?
No, but it's gonna come and let you know. All right, I'm just gonna do my sound effects.
You're like, there's not enough farts noises in this.
Yeah, you're right. Stealth Mouse killed it with her freaking.
30 seconds left, y'all. Let's wrap it up. What you're doing is probably not going to be that great anyway. You're not
Ding.
freaking Picasso.
Ding.
Wrap it up.
Ding. Ding.
Hello!
Ding. Ding. Ding.
You didn't like it?
It's
Ding.
fine.
Ding.
You gotta like
Whoop. Whoop.
adjust your.
Whoop.
Expectations of what
Yeah,
the drawing needs
just make
to
it
be.
simple.
No.
Whoop.
Mine wasn't a simple prompt.
Warning.
It's like, I don't know if I can make that simple.
I have all your drawings now, and as much as I want to keep them to myself, let's all take a look at the first one.
All right.
Use your devices to type in what you think the real title for this picture could have been.
Hello!
Oh. 15.
Adam's laughing at
Here are your
his
choices.
own prompts.
Try to pick the real title and avoid all the garbage everyone else typed in.
Okay.
25. Oh.
Hello!
15.
Select an answer. Come on.
Damn it! I think I know what it is, and I think I picked the wrong one.
Oh no.
Okay, who picked what?
All right, caramel candy. I gave that one props. I was like, that's a good one.
Yo. Oh man.
Ah, yes.
Oh, it was right.
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding.
Unlimited candy.
Nice. Wait, they give you a bunch of credit there, Stealth
You got
Mouse.
to get some, yeah.
That's great.
Okay, the next drawing. Enter your titles now. here are your choices.
Oh. 25. 20.
Picking boogers at night.
15.
Pick anything.
Hello.
5.
Man, this
And
is tough.
here are your picks.
Oh. Nuts.
I knew that one. I knew that was an Adam Potion special.
How did you know?
Wah!
Oh, you bastard. It is picking boogers at night?
Yeah.
What the heck?
All right.
Creepy tweens, huh?
Creepy tweens.
Dang.
Like they're creeping at night?
Let's take a look at our next drawing.
Oh. 30. 25.
Hello.
20.
These are all gonna be exactly the same.
I was gonna say, I know exactly what it is.
Like, I mean,
Which
come
one is the
on.
right one, though?
Yeah, that's gonna be the.
And here are your choices.
Oh, shoot.
25. 20. Oh.
Oh, crap. I picked the wrong.
Hello.
All right, whatever.
Okay.
Pick something. Let's see what people picked.
Oh.
It's like just use the normal one. Just put the typical thing. Hello. Woo!
Oh, my God. I accidentally hit that, so I apologize. Tinkle Elmo. Good job, Becky.
Tickle me.
That was good.
Nice.
Cha-ching.
Oh, my God. Oh, this is clearly a
Type in
Ryan
title
drawing.
What?
Now.
Man, fine, it is.
35.
Think of how I drew it too.
30. 25. 20. 15. Oh.
Hurry up, people. Just type something in.
5.
The two colors is like brutal too. I wish I had three.
Oh, God. Such the artist, right?
You
Okay,
know.
here are your choices.
Oh my god.
25. Oh.
And here are your picks.
Oh. Ding.
Nice.
Damn it.
Wrong.
Good job, Mike
Wrong.
Azul.
Ding.
I thought that was actually
Where have I seen
too
this before?
descriptive.
Oh yeah, everywhere.
Good job. Great job.
Cha-ching.
Type in a convincing title now.
35. 30. 25. 20.
Hello.
15.
Here are your choices.
Crap.
25. 20.
Hello.
15.
Just tap any button. And here are your picks.
All right, I got it wrong. It should have been that, but I realized Macbeth is not actually.
Scene from Macbeth.
Oh.
It's not. Is it Hamlet?
I don't know. I didn't. Did I?
A
Yeah.
scene from the Scottish play.
Nice.
I call it that because I'm an actor.
I think Hamlet is from Macbeth, though, right?
Is it?
Is he the person who's?
Speak.
I don't know. I don't know enough about plays. You're ahead of me now.
Oh, I had to
Next
take
round of
the
drawing
lead
cards
on
are
that.
Ready to go.
Shit, this is hard.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
You're like, oh, excuse me. Excuse me.
30 seconds left, y'all. Come on. Now that I've got all your drawings,
Oh,
it's
man.
time for some fun. Put in your
Oh
titles
my God.
now.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
35. 30. 25.
Hello.
20. 15.
Quick, type in anything.
Oh. 5.
And here are your choices.
Hello. We'll see. We'll see. I feel like these are always. These are tough.
Pick an answer.
Oh, man.
5. Oh.
Let's see what people picked.
Good one. Good one.
Ding.
Hello. Nice.
Ding.
I knew that one was just not right enough.
Not good. Not. Yes.
Good one.
All right.
Ding.
It's not a failed alley poop.
Yeah. There wouldn't be poop in there. Should have been. China's up to the top again.
Yeah. No, we're tied.
No.
This is
Not me.
71.
Next up,
35. Oh. 30.
That's a cute mouse, babe.
Hey, I'm. Here are your choices.
25. Oh.
Hello.
Okay, who picked what?
Damn.
Damn it.
Oh.
Getting, getting.
You know it's the first
When
one.
it's the
you're
first one,
screwed.
you're done.
Oh.
All right. All right.
Getting.
Okay.
The worst X-Men.
Okay.
There should probably be a hyphen in there, right? Maybe? Let's get on with our
What
lives.
is
I
the-
think there should be a hyphen.
Yeah.
I put a hyphen in mine.
Touching. Speak. Getting.
Dang. Yeah, we're
Stealth
getting
Mouse
killed
is,
now. We're getting
is
killed
killing it
now.
for sure. There's Stealth Mouse in this.
Type in a title now.
35. 30. 25. Oh. 20. 15.
Hello. Let's do it.
And here are your choices.
Oh. 25. 20.
Hello.
15.
And here are your picks.
Oh.
Good job. Good
Getting,
job.
getting.
It told me I couldn't do allergy
Oh,
tests.
really?
Getting,
Oh,
getting.
God,
For once,
it's
we're
like
actually
they're so
asking you
tests.
to draw pricks.
So
because
close.
of
That was a good
how,
one.
how allergy tests work.
Alright, I'm getting crushed, I assume, at this point. I'm probably like in last.
Speak. Getting.
Good job, Mike Azul.
Almost. Last one.
Oh God.
Enter your titles now.
35. 30. Oh. 25. 20. 15.
Hurry up, people. Just type something in.
5.
And here are your choices.
25. Oh.
And here are your picks.
That's how good a drawer I am.
Oh, shut up.
Nothing says romance like kissing mere inches.
You
from
just, I think you
strangers'
took it with that, Ryan. There's no way. $4,000 on that.
Maybe not.
Yes, you did.
I 700 points.
Ryan has won every
Hold it
one
out.
of these.
Hold it out. Oh, it's not. We're not over.
Type in a convincing title now.
35. 30.
Hello.
25.
What's happening?
20. 15.
Okay, here are your choices.
Hello.
25. 20. 15.
Let's see what people picked.
Oh, only one.
All right.
Oh
All
man.
right. Nice.
Full disclosure, I just wanted these 2 colors in my art. Ryan got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I don't remember amnesia actually being a prompt. That's weird.
Oh Jesus.
That's good. I like that.
Damn Ryan.
Yeah.
A streak. Adam usually gets most liked.
No, you did this time. Good job. It's a racket. I agree. What the hell? That was a good one, Ryan. Ryan
That
took
was
the
good.
Ryan took it all that time.
It was the last one that did it for me. And my amazing drawing of kissing under the bleachers.
That one took it. I gotta say that was good.
Those, you know what's funny? I was gonna do the second, you had like a cross beam behind them, and
Yeah.
I was gonna do the second cross beam, and I know my phone like goes back when you do
Oh.
stuff, and I was like, I'm not gonna risk it.
Yeah. See, that was good.
I was like, I can't swipe.
Yeah, the mouse was great. That was like.
Yeah, that was good.
Really
I took a
good.
picture of it.
I did too.
Yeah.
two pictures of that. That was
Nice.
great. So, oh my god,
That was fun,
It is
everyone.
fun to jump into that.
Totally.
Yeah, I couldn't chat and draw.
Yeah.
That was good.
So,
All right, back into the stream on the last hour. Let's land this plane. Actually, last 40 minutes
Yeah.
because we have a little bit to do. So Ryan has been working on a level. Do you want to play it? Is that what we're
sure.
gonna do here?
Well, because I have some questions and some things from you about the level that I want to talk about for like the grander vision for the tavern, I guess, based on this, and a couple actual like questions about tweaking some of the gameplay.
Well, okay. There's 2 things that we can do because I want to show you the new rat, by the
Cool.
way, and all
Oh,
the
yeah,
stuff that
yeah.
that we did, and kind of get into that, and then we'll do this. So we'll just do a run through of your game. So just set us up. What did you do here?
Basically, we talked about this. Last week because Adam had built this vertical level, and we were talking about and playing through it. And I was like, okay, like, what if we made this in? What if this was like a more fleshed out version of that vertical level, basically? And so I set up some things, and I tried some stuff with like, you could see I sort of put ramps at the edge of like when you jump to a ledge, instead of it just being a flat edge, it has a ramp to it. Like I
did notice that.
I was trying out certain things of like, how does it feel to jump from one ledge to another? Okay, I am 100% never going to be able to play this with a mouse and keyboard. That is like impossible for me. Do you have a controller, like a little
Not that would
8-bit,
not
like,
that
with
would
the
work
8-bit
on.
dough?
I mean, I just can't get it to the computer because of how it works.
Okay, well then you got to beat this with mouse and keyboard because I cannot even touch this. Okay, so here was my thing. Trying to get like this beginning part, like here's your just first little jump, right? It's easy. You have the dash, but you don't need to do it. And then like this one,
Can't get to
you
that.
can't get to that one from the bottom, right? So there's no way to just like jump and make it. But like just try it the first time to just run and jump and make it across this this gap up at the top.
All right.
So like that one you have to be at the top of your jump, and this one like if you just run and jump, you miss it by like a tile. Basically,
Yeah.
like the maximum amount that you can run and jump is that exact. I don't remember that 8 or something like that blocks, but you miss it by 1. Okay, so then if you do the dash, you have to hit the dash at the top of his jump or you don't make it. So like try to hit it like just off of the top of the jump.
I'm too good, Ryan.
Because you're too good. You're too good at it at this point.
I play this game too much.
Too much. Like, but what I'm saying is, so there's a point where like the only time you can make this jump is if you do the dash at the very top of your jump. And if you do it even a tile below, then you don't make it, right? It's the same as doing the full jump. So what I was thinking, and I don't know if this is possible, but I would love to extend the length, the double that the dash goes by one tile. Like
Yeah.
basically 8 pixels. Because then I feel like there's a very big difference between you making a jump and you not making a jump, and you like eyeballing it and being like, oh, can I make
Challenge,
this or
though.
not?
That's
right?
the fun
Well,
part.
and that's the thing, because so that's what I was hoping maybe we could try and then see if that's fun. And maybe it's not.
We'll show you where to do that. It'll be great. It'll
That
be
would
great to do.
Okay, so then I was going up here, and like I wanted to be able to be like, you can't make that jump, right? Like you can. Good job. Good job. So that's great. That's perfect. That's what we want to know. Okay, so now go up and do
But
it
you
from the
can't,
top.
but if I make that jump, you can't.
Because I had to keep lowering it because that
can't-
like I
you
can't I was because it was high enough up that you could just get up there and then make the jump.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll just have to mess with like
So this one,
the height
I
of
did.
all of that.
I tried this. You had to like. It's almost like you had to. Oh man, where was it?
because they're on
you
like
go.
ledges almost,
So-
right? So you sort of have to jump from like
You have to jump to this from this. Oh yeah, that one you can't even make
yeah.
because it's just like a tile off.
It's just to help you like get back on the thing. And so then I was like, is that just annoying or is that fine? And so I thought, okay, is this jump harder or easier than the one below it? Because it should be harder than the one.
Oh yeah, it was way harder.
So you think like this one is harder because
Yeah.
you have to like go jump across and hit up at the right time, right?
Yes, you do.
And to get back to the jump if you fuck up is this harder part, right?
Yep.
So it's sort of like it punishes you more for being
Screwed it up, too.
screwing it up basically than the one before it did.
Absolutely does.
Okay. So if Adam can make this jump at some point,
Oh, I'm gonna
I'm just
suck.
fucking with you.
No, I know.
I'm just screwing with you.
It's hard. It's harder.
You're playing and on a keyboard. I can't do it at all. I wouldn't be able to make the first jump on a keyboard.
All right, let's see here. Oh, whew,
Ooh.
okay.
Okay, great. Okay, so you go up.
And then the door. Is there anything with the door?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. So I'm
Well,
up.
there isn't really, but like as a concept there is. Okay, so now you're up here and you can't get up there, I don't think. Maybe you can.
Oh, onto this ledge right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get up here.
But then maybe not onto that ledge.
I think I was able to. Oh, if you get this, you can.
That's what I'm saying. So like what I thought is you wouldn't be able to get up on there, but now that you have the double jump, it would be like, hey, go. You would see something up there, and you would be like, bam, now I can get up there with the double jump.
I was like falling through it, I think, and I was like,
Can't get up there. You should be able to run and jump and then do the double jump. I think.
oh, god dang it! Hold on a second.
No dash. You don't even need the dash. You got to do it at the top of that jump.
Yeah, I got up here and I just.
Yeah, there you go. And then that would be solid, so you'd have to jump around it or do something, right? And there would be art all around it and stuff, and so you would get something there, say.
And I can't go down.
No, I was saying like that was sort of the floor, because now you're in the attic or whatever. Okay, so now you should be able to get to that door where you couldn't get to that door before.
And how do
So-
I-
And you can't get it, or I tried to make it so you couldn't get it from just the ladder. You had to go back down and back up, but you have this double jump, and so it should be a lot easier now to make all of these jumps, right? And then
slid off.
and then now with the double jump you can make it to that door. And I don't think it should be a door. I think it should be, so this is one of the questions that I have for you.
God.
Is right now all of the levels are like rectangles. Is there a way?
Can you go through this door?
No.
I can't get up
You
there.
you got to be able to hit it so that your second jump
Oh.
hits on the little edge.
I see what you're doing. I don't know. I never got to the door before. This will be the first time. On a keyboard, it is a pain in the ass.
It's a pain in the ass to do stuff. Like I can do all this stuff with the controller and basically just run through this level.
But even if I get here, this door is not.
It doesn't do anything. It's just I think you can even literally just stand there at the edge and double jump up onto it. Like you might have to be pointing in the right direction and sort of move a little bit, but I think I was just like Yeah, that's the height you need, is that double one you just did.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like there we
There you go. Okay, so nothing happens. And I was even thinking like maybe there isn't even a door there. Maybe it's just a bunch of barrels, and then you like smash the barrels and go into another room. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one of the questions that I had. Right now, all of the levels are like rectangular.
Yeah.
Can they be L-shaped? Or have rooms that go off of them that don't include a load?
You could, yes. Yes.
Okay.
But you're basically just blocking out a bunch of the side stuff. So if I were to back out, let's zoom this out. It would the whole thing would be a rectangle, but you would just put, say, a bunch of the
Because it doesn't do it, because that is the entire square is what's on the screen, right?
yes.
So if I build this as a rectangle or like an L,
You can't
an
do
L
that.
shape, you can't do that.
No,
like
no.
it would just be it would just be a bigger. Well, no, it couldn't. It
Yeah,
couldn't. So
It could be.
well, but anytime I leave this rectangle is a load,
No.
right?
No. So you just make this double the width or triple the width, and then we would block out the sections, like.
But they would always be on the screen, right? Because there can only be how many pixels wide on the
It's
screen?
tiles wide.
100
No, this is exactly the screen size wide.
Yeah.
And so if you doubled the width of this, you would you'd see this on the screen, and then as you go to the side, you do that. I think the best way to do it is just go into a door and then go into another world. That's like going to be the better way to do that.
And so, but I don't have to do that with the door, right? Like I could just have it where he smashes open the thing, and then as he walks in past off of the screen, it loads to another one. Okay,
Absolutely.
well that's fine. That's fine.
It's kind of what we're doing with all the doors or other
Yeah,
things like that.
basically it's yeah. Okay, so then one part of that I was gonna say is like, so that's cool. I can think about it like that. One other thing was, I think he has the cricket bat, right?
Yeah.
And he'll have gotten that, you know, D will give him that or something. But like right now it kills enemies.
Yep.
Was there anything else that you were thinking that the cricket bat would do besides kill enemies?
It could do whatever you wanted to.
Okay, so here's what I wanted to do. Like smash things to be able to reveal stuff or get to new areas. Is that possible?
Yeah, you just we have to make actors on what you're going to smash, because they're like a
So if it was like a barrel that looked exactly like all the other barrels, but it happened to be an actor,
Yes.
and you would be able to smash open that barrel.
Yes.
Because I want some of that, because I feel like that'll be part of the puzzle, or just the exploration. Is that some barrels are normal and some barrels will smash, and some barrels reveal things and some barrels reveal nothing, right? So it would be like you going through and smacking things and doing stuff. Because I could here's how I picture it. That same part with the door where you got the double jump and now you can get to the door.
Yeah.
I imagine that more is just a bunch of barrels.
Yeah.
And then if you're like, so if you have the gumption to go back in and go up to that part after you have, and not just ditch out and go back to D like you're told to, if you have the gumption to go up there and do that and you smash open the barrels, then like it leads to another room that has a bunch of cool lore and like
absolutely
something, right? But then I also want barrels in other spots where they're just barrels.
And that you want them to
right?
crush.
And I want them to be crushed still. So, but then I was thinking like, how many of those do I get per level? Or like, is that basically just an enemy?
Yeah, it's an enemy.
So it's an
actor.
enemy. So how many, like, do you remember off the top of your head how many enemies you get per level?
It's not necessarily that. It's
It's like actors, right?
it's actors per level. Let's look at this one. It'll tell you underneath.
Ooh, we get to see the new mousey.
Yeah, so there's up to 20 actors.
Okay, so
in
you
the
could
new
have
one.
20 things that you interact with, basically.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You want to see the new mouse?
Oh,
Are
you
you
look at him!
excited?
Look at him up there.
Oh, he's just chilling.
He's just
I,
hanging out.
I thought that was a cute little thing. Like, he doesn't do
Totally.
anything. He's just hanging.
Nice.
It's like, hey, mice. All right, so here we go. We got to go get our new loadout. I don't know if anybody's seen this yet. Have you seen this yet?
I saw you like put this together during a workbench.
So I did it. I had to do some edits outside of the workbench. So when I first go into this room, he like runs at you, but see how he doesn't hit you if you don't go further into the room?
Right.
Like I kind of did that on purpose a little bit.
Okay.
And there's some
So
things
there's,
where
a
like
safe area.
yeah, like he can't go out this door, because he's already hitting it. It's an on hit when he goes to the door. I got to figure that out. So like, let's say I wanted to go out the door, I can come out and then I can come back in to go through.
I see.
But if I go in and
That one did. That one lets you go straight back in.
yeah, because like, so if I come back out and I go in, because I ran out just enough.
No, I don't think you did. Watch. Go back out.
Oh.
Now turn instantly around.
Oh, I see what I can do. I can put when he walks into the room, I can adjust it. Anyways,
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Whatever.
He's hitting me.
Yeah.
He's taking out the stuff. And so it took a minute for me to figure this out, but boom.
Oh, nice.
He's like screams when he
Yeah.
does it.
Ah, that was his hit. That was like his hit animation and dead animation. Nice. That's looking great. He's floating a little bit.
So that was a thing, and I don't know if you saw that, is that and I can explain why. Because he can't be down. His feet, it's an actual thing. I tried to make it the other way, but it glitches if you do it. So either we have to change his death animation to where he's laying
he has a
down.
fat, like his arms are like this or
Yeah,
something,
he's
like
like-
straight out.
Yeah, it's a limitation to it
Okay.
of how
All
this
right.
would work. But then I don't think there's anything new up there, so we would add your level. I have this vision for this level of this being like, I'm imagining a New York alleyway where like they have the little stoops there and like little like different things. So that's what I'm imagining, because I called this the back alley.
Okay.
I wasn't thinking this was the brewery yet. I think this was
No.
this is you just get in the back of the store and you're like, oh, there's rats because that's where rats would be outside, and like
Well,
trash cans.
I was
and-
thinking like, because I don't know how much we want to explain away, like there's no way any brewery would look like this, right? There's not random ladders with platforms and things no real thing would have any resemblance to something like this. So I don't know how much we just want to say like, whatever, it's a video game and we just do things.
Yeah.
Like, or if we're trying to be like, oh man, I can't get to the attic because the door is locked. So I have to go through the back alleyway, scaffolding basically, or the whatever they show in New York City movies all
Yeah.
the time, like the fire escapes, to jump up there and do it. Like, are we trying to make it real, or do we not care that like a bunch of this is just gonna have to be like suspend your belief?
Yeah, I think it's a suspend your belief, but I think you get the essence of an
Yeah.
alleyway with a bunch of craziness as you
Totally.
go up it.
Because like here, so I love that idea. I feel like that is cool. Here's what I had in mind, but like I like yours. Or we can incorporate a bunch of things. It was just sort of a series of like attic spaces until you got to like the top of the area, and it was all just storage.
Sure.
And so you would be going up. Now, what I think we need to think about is like, there would likely have to be story bits inside of this. If we're trying to tell a story, we got to use each room to have little pictures or have things that you would find or do stuff like that, or hidden rooms or things like that. And so you have to be like, okay, what would a back alley have that you could like go into a side room or something like that? Or you're like, oh shit, the window is open. Like, I'm going to crawl through here and get to the, the back inside or something like that, but in a weird side room that I didn't know about.
Well, and I think like there's options to do a lot of that.
Yeah,
like in our
that's what I'm
storage
saying.
pieces, like I thought the alley was cool because it made sense from like going inside to
Totally.
outside, and
I
then
love that.
going into rooms would make sense, or windows of other people's
Yeah.
stuff or whatever. And then you could
Cool.
even have like interesting weird rooms that don't have to really relate to the thing. You go into one and there's
Totally.
something going on.
Okay, so then I had another query for you
All right.
as I was playing this. So I was watching or I was looking at old like Metroid games,
Okay.
and I was like, one little level is, or one little screen is probably like 5 times as long as this, right? And it has parts that like are pretty easy. More, you're just sort of jumping up, and then if you
Sure.
screw up, then you fall down, and that's kind of the thing. Or they put an enemy there that you got to kill. And so I was thinking, like, is the area that I set up, would you rather have it like that, where it's like 2 hard jumps that you got to try over and over again? Or would you rather have it longer with like more repetition in the artwork and the background, but have it sort of padded out, I guess, right? In the sense that you got to jump into a bunch of things that sort of nail kind of easier jumps to get to somewhere. You know, but like it takes sort of longer to get there, and if you screw up one of them, you sort of fall down or you get hit by an enemy. Because right now ours is more like 2 hard jumps that you got to play over and over again, right? Where like if you look at some of these, it's not really like that. It's more like, oh, there's a bunch of sort of mediocre jumps and then there's an enemy there to stop you.
Sure.
And so I was wondering like what you thought about that in the sense of like the scale and the scope and the sort of the storytelling of our game.
Well, I mean, it's a great question. And so as I start to think of Metroid, if you do some of this, is that some of the levels, like they have some weird hard parts, but then you can see on the top of it, and that top is you get like a power up, and you know that, oh, now when I have the power up, I can go back to this level and go through it. But to answer your direct question, like, do we do like more just easy stuff to get around and run back and forth? I think the answer is, if you're going to have people going back and forth through a level, you're going to want that level to be generally like doable and like basically what you created. You have a little couple hard parts, but once you get past that hard part, there's like a checkpoint, so to speak. Now you're to the next piece. I think having the skill, and so here's the deal. When I first got the game and started playing it, even for myself, I was like, oh, this is hard. Like, I don't know if people would like this. Now I've played it a crazy amount of times, like a lot. And I got it. And I'm just jumping around like through the hard parts. Like I nearly have it tuned in. I'm like, damn, this is easy now. So I like it being hard. I like the idea that we actually put some challenge to it.
And I guess that's the thing of like, you know, if it's not a commercial product, right? Like if it's sort of for the show and for the stuff that and what we're doing, because I imagine in a lot of times you would want to make it easier, but like and the penalty less hard,
right?
And so you'd be like, oh, it's like easier to make these jumps, and so you don't get frustrated with it as early. So here's what I think. I think if we want to make hard jumps and do it like that, which I pretty much agree with you, because what I don't want to do is build out 1,000 levels of all of this. I'd rather have it more condensed where you're like learning things and doing stuff and it's hard jumps.
Yeah.
But I do think we need like one part that is easier jumps to get people into the act of doing it and trying it with easier stuff. So maybe this like side area is like a, you know, because we're having Roby go and ask D, or like D is giving him instructions to go and get things, right? That's kind of the first, like, it's like a fetch quest. And we're going through there and we're doing that for the tavern part, at least at this point. And I think at that point, like maybe this is like the third thing that you go.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Or whatever, or like fourth thing. And the first one is like easy sort of jumps, and it's sort of showing you how to use the double jump. And it's really, if you fall, it's like you're right back into it and you're practicing and you're trying again. Because what we want is by the time they get to this one, they're like breezing through that stuff, right? And so I guess that's sort of the progression. So anyway, we'll just have to think about that.
I'm thinking you're spot on.
But I also agree that I don't like these ginormous levels with not as much stuff happening in them. I would rather ours be like a concentrated short story.
I think you're right. One of the things about this, if you look at it, is see these little symbols that are everywhere. So the whole point of Metroid, at least this Game Boy version of it, is you have to go and fight every single one of those things. Mm-hmm. And so there's different versions. I don't know if that's like alpha, beta, and all like these different types that are harder. Mm-hmm. And so why that happens is that you like find your way through this level and you get to the end of it, and then there's a little mini boss battle, and there's like 36 of those.
Right.
And so one thing about a Metrovania that I liked about this method, not necessarily as crazy and big, but you have these sections, and you have to really kind of look at this in sections. Like this is a whole section right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you have to have, and I think you can see it right here, is there's a red line that's right through here. And what happens is as you're playing some of these other parts, you come to this part and it's like
It's like a barrier, to get you,
you die.
keep you
if
into
you
that
try to get
level.
in there. So
Yeah.
you can't get through that, but you can jump over it and you go and you fix this level.
It's
And
like
then,
water or something, right?
yeah,
Or-
it's like something that
and
hurts
then you
you.
drain it. Or
And then when
whatever.
100%, then you drain it, and then you have access to the next level, and the next level, and you keep doing all these different pieces, and you get through it. And so, one of the fun things that I liked about the Metroid was that I'm thinking about our game. If we had a section where you see the section and there's like a locked door, so let's just pretend we're in the alleyway, and what I
Or pretend we're in the tavern, right? And you have a locked door. You have like the bathroom is under construction,
Yeah.
right? And it's a locked door. You could eventually, right? And then be like, D would say, "Oh man, here's the key to the bathroom. Can you figure that out and also bring me something from that's in there or whatever?" And then there's some kind of puzzle or some kind of something inside of there. And now you have access. Is that sort of what you were thinking?
I mean, I think that a lot of that, and then once you unlocked it, like even if you walked out, let's say you walked out into this alleyway, and right now you're killer rat and everything. What if there was just a locked door right here, and you're like, that's peculiar. Oh, I guess it's locked, whatever. And then you go up and you run, you do all your like stuff in this level, and you come back down, and you always there's a hint that there's this locked door, and that's kind of what Metroid does sometimes. You're just like, ooh, can we go through that? Is that
Yeah.
something I'll get to? So you're kind of running back and forth, like your bathroom example.
Totally.
You're running by it at some point, and then at some point in the game, what would be really cool and what I like about it is that we wouldn't necessarily ever even enter through that door, but you'd go through some big part and you'd find yourself through the brewery and everything would happen, and then you come back and then you unlock the door and now you come back through the door.
Oh, right.
And you're like, oh crap, that was the back door of the brewery. And now
Totally.
that you open it, you can go back and forth through it to get yourself back into the bar fast enough.
Totally. I love that idea. Like little backtracking shortcuts.
Because
basically.
it would take us like an immense amount of time to get to a brewery and get through all that stuff. But then
Right.
once you unlock it, you want to easily get back to parts of the brewery.
Because I feel like our brewery is kind of the hub.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where like D is going to be all the time, and that's where you could talk to her, and that's kind of where like the spoke that's going to be for the rest of our levels.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think you nailed on kind of some concepts, at least that I was thinking about.
So we only have 20 minutes left, and I want to do action stuff. I'm thinking like basically I think you could sort of do like how so we're going to be going and collecting 4 things or 5 things, however many things we want.
Right.
Which I feel like those 4 things should be like sections or levels in the thing that are hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can have other rooms off of those or dead end room that are just about story that you keep going into. And you're like, maybe something is in here and you're hitting things and you're doing stuff, but you're learning about the story. So we sort of need 4 interesting platformer sections.
Right.
And then we sort of figure out what milieu we want to put on top of them, right? So it's sort of like if there's one that goes up and we're like, oh, that would be a fun like outside thing. And we
Right.
sort of figure out that. And then maybe there's a crossways one where you're jumping and dodging things or something. It's like we need to know like what are the 4 levels that are fun and interesting that we're building out through this that you know you're going to visit in the tavern.
And that's why I brought this up. So my initial, and I think maybe you're starting to see kind of where I was going. Like I knew this wasn't going to be it, but it was trying to get to what your point was, is that like, what are our options? So this was version 1.1. Like I'd say like a 2.0 is we have now the up and down versions of that.
Sure.
And then we'd go and collect these into something. I was like, what could a tavern potentially have that we would use as like ideas? And so that's only I'm bringing it up as I'm just trying to like think about it from a
No, I agree. And it's almost like at this point you would say which ones are sort of lore sections where you're not really like doing a thing, you're more just like finding a place or going through a place to get to a part, and it has little jumps maybe, but they're all really simple and you're mostly just like absorbing the story. And which ones are like the highlighted amazing, like you're going through a part and like, and it's tough and there's enemies and there's things like that.
Well, let's figure it out right now. So
Totally.
I like the back alley And I just like the
Me too.
concept of the alley.
Like back alley with sort of stair or a fire escape,
Yeah.
like edges that you're jumping back and forth to. And I like the idea of him being like acknowledging like, holy shit, this is really dangerous, you know, like, but it's got to be done, you know, or like Dee is pregnant. And so I like the idea of like, oh my God, of course Dee should not be doing this. You know, like she's
For
kind
sure.
of sending you out to do this stuff. And you're like, I did not realize how dangerous this place was or something.
So we got back alley,
So-
fire escape, and that's what? Vertical, horizontal? What,
yeah,
I guess.
like it's vertical. And then, and I don't think we need to, you know, place them necessarily, but like, okay, what are just interesting spots? I think the museum is mostly lore. You know, I don't think the museum is like a
Yeah, no,
like a platforming section.
no. So so the bar itself is what's just it's kind of platforming, but more story.
It's hub,
story hub,
right?
hub.
It's hub.
And I think some of the rooms off of it. So my initial thought is that anything off of the hub is still part of the bar. There's still story.
Okay.
And then at the third off, so that kind of goes with the entrance. The entrance is right off of the main bar part, and then that's when you get to the big back alleyway.
Right.
And so, in going back to that other image that I had, I don't even know if I had that open still. I don't know where it is. Nope, that's this one. Is that back in this version? Give it a second to load. Hopefully it's logged in. It's okay. It's good. So I was thinking like, I like the idea of having you go to alleyway one way, and on the other end, it's like, I was thinking of New York for some reason when I was building this, or some sort of like city that they have those little gardens that they have in the front, or those little like patios that have
Right.
some things on there. But I was trying to think like a garden would be fun, like a greenhouse. I almost felt like it was like an interesting new world type where you would get to do something a little different than like the industrial and then the more
See,
like
I was
garden-y.
thinking like greenhouse would be like the grandfather's apartment or something,
Okay,
right? Where
yeah.
you would have like some crazy atrium in the middle of it or whatever. Like, but I could also see like a front entrance or something, like because we have a lobby,
Yeah.
right? Like that's and then so it's almost like the lobby should be on the opposite end of the like back entrance.
Yeah.
So it's almost like lobby would need to be over here or switched
the
or
right-hand side,
or
yeah.
or put the, you know, have the lobby on the left hand side, then tavern, and then at the very far end is the thing, which might make sense because, you know, it's if that's further on in the game, it's like further away from
Sure.
the entrance, you know, if that's the third or fourth thing. But so okay.
Let's just keep okay. I was
No,
gonna
no,
say
go
like
ahead.
keep high, like you said, high level. We'll just get
Yeah.
like four areas. I was thinking of themes, and maybe I shouldn't be thinking that, but then there's the base or the sewer or like down like
Okay.
like swampy-ish.
Yeah. Like I like the idea of sewer or basement level being like, I'm trying to avoid falling into something,
Yeah.
you know? So I don't know if that's something the Game Boy could do, I assume. Like if there was, like, you know, you're jumping from platform and you're trying to stop on a platform
Yeah.
and make it to the next
Yeah.
platform. And if you fall through, it looks like you're drowning, or you just fall through a thing and then you're just dead or something.
100%. And so if we go back to the game, so just to give you kind of how you can think about these orange things, these doors that we're going in and out, they're trigger boxes.
Yeah.
And so what essentially they're doing, and if I click on this one, we can see, so there's 30 triggers, and this because we upgraded the
Yeah.
4.0 and did all
Nice.
these things, is each trigger could be triggered to say, hey, on enter, do this thing. So you could have like, imagine some weird bubbly water in the sewer that's all stinky or whatnot, and
Yeah.
we'd have to figure out some tile swapping to make it look animated. And then we would just layer this orange over it and say, anytime you fall into this,
Right.
decrement the health, pause 2 seconds, decrement the health,
Yeah.
pause 2 seconds, and then you die. So it
Right.
feels like you're in the water. So think
Yeah.
about those trigger boxes
Cool.
as things that will do things when you get into them. It could be water, it could be whatever you want.
Nice. Okay, so I think we'll say back alley is one, basement is one,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
some kind of something is maybe like attic or yeah, I was just thinking like something cool that's at the top of the bar, like where you would save things or whatever. Like we have an attic, right? And I could see the being like asked to go up there and get things, and it would be in the rafters, and maybe you're like jumping on angled platforms or something to get to things, and you're finding stuff in there. Good night, Stealth Mouse. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for the cool stealth mouse tonight.
Totally. Yeah, it was a good one. But, something like that, like, or because I almost feel like the places, they need to have some kind of different milieu than the other.
I agree with that, and I think we got so you got alleyway, you got the basement piece. So I was thinking about it two ways. Alleyway is the up and down in the like you might fall down. The basement is your back and forth and you might get hurt into something.
Yeah.
So with that, I was thinking, is there and this is not the right one, but like a loading dock, and the reason I thought that is, what if like the forklifts were going up and down and there was like a some sort of conveyor belt. So then you got the up and down level, you got the level with jumping things, and then something that has like platforms.
I think the conveyor belt and stuff like that is for the warehouse, right?
And that's what I'm saying. Is that what it is then, or are we waiting? Or
I almost think you should wait, right? Like it would be a whole new different type of thing, because I feel like we sort of have to save them a little bit, because like we can only do so many different like types of stuff. Maybe
here's okay.
Because I do love the idea. I love the idea of of there being treadmill type things that you sort of have to get. If that's possible, I don't know if that's possible. Like a floor that moves.
I think so.
Because then that would be
learn,
bottles. Like it would be, the bottles would be moving in that. And I could see that moving, and then you would have to run and then jump onto a thing. Like I could see that being cool for that. And also smashing things. I think Mike Azul was saying you could like smash things where the beer would shoot out, and that would like stop you, stop something from happening or knock something over.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah. I remember
like you'd be hitting something, and then like beer would shoot out, and it would knock something over, and you'd have to.
Well, okay. So here's the thought: are we gonna make the demo-ish? I don't know if we're in the demo right now, or we're just saying this is one really big vertical slice, and we can say we did Skull Bobs and like the demo, like, and so we've done those parts.
That's
and then we take a moment, we maybe pause, and we do some other kind of fun stuff, and like we say we did the thing. If people like it, we will continue to build it.
Sure.
And so that's where I was going, like, could we do that? Because we've had a lot of great, crazy ideas, but could this be like can we sprint towards and getting to that point of what you're saying, 4 other levels that gives us the first milestone to say, okay, we did a thing.
Yeah.
Is this worth it?
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I sort of had that same sort of thing of like the scope, right?
Yep.
And so I said, like, would you rather it be even smaller scope and hit all 4 areas and be like a sort of full thing, but it's like, you're spending 3 or 4 minutes in each area, right? And you sort of like, you get the story, and it's just sort of a straightforward thing, and you do a little platform section and get something, and that gets you straight over into the other one, right? Because I feel like this one is, where it's like a larger thing, right? Because we got to build out all these rooms and what you're going to get to it. Or are we trying to tell like this small thing? Because what I do like the idea of the story that we're doing, and it feels like I want to sort of see it to the end.
Sure.
But I also know how long something like that would take to do this times 4, basically, or 3. I guess 3, but and then a boss encounter at the end, which feels like a full game that you would do, but also, maybe even multiple years at that point.
Well, and that's what I was saying is like, let's get it to a point where we can say we've done a good vertical slice. We have enough of those pieces, and it's really fun. And we even can, I don't know if we cliffhanger it, but we put it to a point where like, that was a satisfying, like we got to that point, I want more. And then at that point we can say, do we continue this? And like, because first of all, that helps us say we did what we said we did, and within the scope of the time we said, like a year and a half, whatever we said for that. And then we could say, all right, this is really good. We're enjoying it. We go to a different platform and build games with a little bit more like scale to it, which
Sure.
would be really fun, because I feel like now that we've got this beat down, we might be able to have some scaling up, and you wouldn't be constrained to like some of those things and some of these amazing things we're trying to do.
Totally.
Could we do it different?
Well, I feel like the argument for that is that, like, for the show, we should be always sort of doing and trying new things, not spending 5 years on one Game Boy game.
Right.
Like, and the part of me hates that, because I am the type of person who would spend 5 years. If you were like, Ryan, let's spend 5 years on this Game Boy game and never deviate from that, I am like the king of sunken cost syndrome. Like, I will stick with something. Like, Adam and I would still be playing catch by his house every Wednesday or something like that if it was up to me, which we started 15 years ago and did for a summer. Like, so I will stick with something for forever because I want to see it like to the end. But like, for the sake of the show and for the sake of trying new things and doing stuff, what I feel like that is always going to end up with a unfinished product, right?
Sure.
Like, it's because we're gonna move to the next one, and we're gonna be like, oh, try this thing, and like, oh, let's do it in 3D, or like, now let's do it in something, and it will just end up dying the same death.
Well, but no, here's the deal: is that I agree with what you're saying, but maybe I'm saying it a little different is that the Game Boy game starts the story. So we started the story.
Right.
We've added a Game Boy
So then, like,
chapter.
the second level is,
Yes.
is a completely different game.
And
like,
we start picking up, and so what we're doing is
Sure.
we're building our story out, and we're telling it in different mediums. So I think it's additive. We would never redo what we did.
because then you can't go back, right? You can only go forward. So
Mm-hmm.
there's no. If you did the tavern as a Game Boy game and you did the brewery as a Super Nintendo game, there's no getting the back door back into the tavern. You would have to like cleave it right there and be like, the first level is the tavern and the second level is going through the brewery and finding the skull, right? Which I'm fine with. Like,
I mean,
that
you
feels
could-
like a cleaner story anyway, but
You could have a homage. You could still have the tavern. You could have
like,
like some little pieces and parts in
something.
there.
Like, yeah, but I agree with you, because I was looking at this and thinking about it, and I was like, oh man, this could take forever.
For
right?
sure.
But I could also see you're like, we chose a style for the intro for the tavern, and the tavern has a style.
Yeah.
And the style is Game Boy, and you play it on a Game Boy, and you do that, and we did that as a fun experiment for the show. The next level is the brewery, and that has a different style, and it's X, right? We have no idea what that could be. Maybe it's a
Game
different
Maker
platform.
Studio.
Game Maker Studio, right? And it looks like, X style, right? And you would just play one, and then you would be like, great, now I'll go play the next one, and it's this completely different one. I mean, that's an interesting.
I mean, it could be cool. I
Totally.
don't know. I like that concept. So to land the plane on this
Yeah.
show, we have 7 minutes.
Totally.
There are 4 levels. We got back alley. We got basement. Do we have another part that we would want to do? So I like the attic. Let's just do attic.
Attic.
Because I almost feel like the rafters and all those pieces are there. So that gets us close. Is there another version? Like patio and garden was kind of
Yeah, right.
kitchen. Kitchen could be fun. I don't know.
Kitchen could be fun.
Because think about it, a bar. If you go to a bar, what are the key things in a bar?
Right.
The bar and the
maybe,
kitchen, right?
Like maybe instead, maybe attic isn't interesting enough. Maybe it should be kitchen, or gift shop. I thought was sort of fun, like a fun place, because they would have sort of a gift shop, but maybe that's more just a lore.
Yeah, that's like a lore piece, I would say. Like, because I'm thinking like a kitchen could have a lot of parts you're jumping on, and like pots and pans and little things that you're
Right.
you're or the
like
ovens
with
firing
fire
up.
coming up,
Of
and you're
course.
dodging that. Exactly. Okay,
So
I like that one.
attic or kitchen, back alley, basement.
Yeah. And those would be the main 4
Front of bar. We need to do like the front patio. I really feel like, because we talk about that all the time, like where we have the boss or where there's like cars coming in. Like,
Yeah, I guess that's
don't
true
know.
because I always figured that looking very different than like just a room that you would go into. But I like the idea of, say you had a front patio, and then when you came to the actual bar, it would sort of be off to the side. You'd be like, right, there's the patio that we were in before. It has the same umbrellas.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
Umbrellas, because that could be fun. You're jumping on and off umbrellas, and it's like ramping you up. I don't know if that's a thing.
So we got it. We got a patio. And I'm going to put umbrellas because you just said it. Okay. We got the attic, or is it kitchen? What would you say of the two?
Kitchen.
So we got kitchen, back alley, and basement.
Yeah.
Or is it sewer?
It's no, I think basement is better, and then you make it into the sewer, and that's what gets you to the
It's a duel.
Yeah.
It's both. There's our levels there. So we already have, all these other pieces that we've built into the game. We got the bar, we got those little like side rooms, so we already kind of have an attic, which I left blank, so that's great. We can go and build it out, make it a lot bigger, and like have a little parkour action going on this. I think we can make it like a big block. It'll be like a big square.
So are you thinking rat is our one enemy?
We have to have one other enemy.
And then the other thing to think about is,
Rat.
are we giving him any more items? Are we giving him any more powers? Like those are the two.
I
Because
think,
he
a
should
gun or something.
Because I think Roby should I think he should have no powers at the beginning.
Yeah.
And he should get the ability to double jump. And he should get the ability to dash. And he should get the ability to have the cricket bat. So those are like 3 things that you're collecting. And
Okay.
maybe the other stuff are just like lore things that you're collecting.
I think that would make sense. That maybe I'm debating on the but the other things is, so a rat, and I wanted a flying creature if that was possible,
Oh God, those are the worst enemies.
like a bat,
I guess they're
a
just
rat and a
like-
bat. Well, you don't like flying enemies?
No, it's just like flying enemies.
Well, I'm
or
just
it's
thinking
a
like you're
bane
going up into something,
Yeah,
like,
that's
and so
true.
you just need something to be able to be in
darting
space.
back and forth or something.
Yeah,
like
and-
that you have to time out.
Yeah.
I like that idea more than just like, I don't know, like it, because right now it sort of just randomly flies around. I guess that's fine.
No, we would go back and forth. We would just
Back
have one
and
on a
forth.
back and forth, not just random in the thing. Like you would have to go just
Yeah.
like the rat, but in the air.
But in the air.
So I'm gonna show you something before we're done, just so
Okay.
you can know what to do with this. So you want to mess with the dash, you want to mess with some of these things, and it took me a while to get here. But if you go to Game World and Settings, you're gonna go down to these different platform engine pieces, and there's actually 2 of them. So if you go to Engine Platformer Plus, it has been like meticulously tuned in at this point to do
Okay.
these, and this is where you can make some adjustments. So like you can have momentum that gets built into the dash, the kind of style. The where I was I actually had to program these to get turned on. So this is just like how they would be adjusted. There's other ways to do it in actually programming language, to say input the dash when you take this thing, because you can't just say, hey, here's what the dash input is, because then it is default on all the time.
Right.
So notice this dash input is off by default.
Okay.
And then when I go in and I adjust it, it'll allow me to do that. But what I was showing you is, here's where you can kind of look at some of those default values and see what kind of values you can adjust. So like coyote time, I think that's where you get to the edge of something, and if you go just a pixel or 2 after, you won't fall immediately, and you can kind of
Right.
jump off some air, like wall
Say
slide.
I wanted to add a tile to his dash.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back into the game world. So this is where he gets the dash, right?
Yeah.
So if you click on that, we're going to go down. He's going to drink. Okay, so I have the dash input that has been turned on down here. So I'm saying set field platform dash to 2. Let's see here. You would go, let me add in another event after.
Because it's probably like he's doing like the default dash, I would imagine. At this
Yeah,
point,
so
right?
you have to say set, I have to remember what this is.
Yeah,
State,
and I didn't mean to
field,
put you.
var-
I
No,
didn't
you're
mean to
good.
put you on the spot.
No, it's good because you have to. Okay, let's see. Let's check this out. Moving the player. So I'd have to figure out. There's the dash input itself, but then there's a way that you can adjust it. I 100% like have to
you
play
gotta
with it a
mess
little
around,
bit.
yeah, totally.
But it's essentially saying here's the input. It's a double, and then you set a value. And what you're essentially setting is the value that's over here. So I think there's 2 ways to think about this. I'm going to delete this. So if I'm going to delete that. And I go to the settings again and go back down to this dash. I think you can do the distance right now because I don't adjust the distance. So let's say I just put it like, let's just, for the sake of it, just for fun, let's say I go really drastic. It was at 400.
He just chose 9/11.
Yeah.
Psycho.
How did that happen? Psycho. I love it. So then what you do is, like I was going to say, it would be fun to do wall slides and wall jumps. Like you can do like a cool thing. Like when he hits a wall, he's like grabbing down on it.
Right.
Like there's a bunch of stuff like kick off the wall.
Nice.
So if you jump off it and you pop
Yeah,
off
yeah,
on it.
cool.
And there's other things with Platformer Plus as a platform where you can actually have platformer things going around. So it's movements, just
Okay.
like in Mario's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I would say play with that. That's where we want to go.
Okay.
So let's see
Yeah,
what this
let's
looks
see.
like. I'm just curious. It might be a little bit ridiculous.
Oh, see, it's like really far now.
Yeah. So you gotta tune it in, and they give you a lot of. So
Yeah. Easy. Easy now.
is that what you were looking for?
Yep.
Yeah. So he would be oh crap. Just use dash. I don't
You
even.
don't even need to jump. Just like teleporting across the screen.
Well, see, the cool thing about this is that you could use this. You could use that at different parts. Like you could have a regular dash, and you can have like a timer. And you're like, you take a super dash, and now you have like 10 seconds where this is the thing. So you could think about other
Yeah.
ways to use it. But anyways, there you
Okay.
go.
I love that idea.
So there's so much you can do with it.
Okay. Awesome.
Well, with that, we are 11:02. Thank you for hanging out tonight. It has
Yeah.
been fun as always.
As always.
Damn, the mouse, the stealth mouse was great for tonight.
good.
That was a good one.
Totally. That was
I think
great.
we learned a lot of good stuff. So
Yeah.
thanks for hanging out. We had some fun.
We don't
we'll
have-
see you next time.
Wait. Do we have our last? Is our animation? Did we play our last animation?
Oh, did we? Yes,
Oh, okay. All right.
we did.
Good night. I thought there was one left.
No,
Good night,
we
everybody.
did. You have a good one. We'll see ya. Peace.